go. I went.
Good evening, everyone. How's it going today? Good to see everyone. What's up out there in Twitch land? Thanks, everyone, for joining us for our second episode of Bad Rolls, Good Times. I can't even get it right. It's our own channel. I can't even get the damn name right. So thank you very, very much, everyone, for joining us. And I am here joined by the rest of the Bad Rolls Good Times crew. Up here in the top left corner, we have Akuma, the Tiefling Sorcerer, played by Akuma CB. What's up?
Hey, how's it going?
Doing well. All right. Then, of course, we have everyone's favorite Jedi Knight. We have Jedi playing Zymat, the Human Fighter.
Good evening, everyone.
Continuing clockwise around the circle, we've got the Wrist Taker, Gigroth, the Goliath Barbarian.
Hello, everyone. I am Gigroth.
And then certainly last but not least is Cyrus, the Elf Bard, played by Kamikaze Goomba.
What's up, everybody?
How is everyone doing tonight? You guys ready to play?
Pumped up, ready to go.
Excellent. Okay, so first off, let's give a little bit of a recap as to what happened in last week's adventure. We had, all of you had found your way to Icewind Dale and were confronted by an old bounty hunter who had contracted you to find someone by the name of Sephek Caltro, who is some shady person, some shady assassin who's killed several people in 10 towns in Icewind Dale. Presumably, the reason that they're killing is somehow tied to these human sacrifices that are being made as kind of an offering to the Frostmaiden, to Auriel the Frostmaiden. And you were able to track this individual down as part of Torg's traveling merchant. And Torga, she was set up outside of Targos, one of the other towns in 10 towns, selling items for way too much, way more than what these items should normally go for. And kind of devised a plan. If you guys want to go over that, what you plan on doing or would like to do to try and capture this Sephek Caltro.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, so I think our plan was we were going to have, while Sephek and Torga were dining at like a tavern or something, we were going to have one of the characters, I think me, distract the waitress for their table, and then have Akuma, our sorcerer, cast Disguise Self to take on the appearance of the waitress and go over and slip some ghoul gut in order to give Sephek and Torga a case of the tummy rumblies. And we were going to have our boy Gigaroth sit outside the bathroom to detain them after they make a trip to the bathroom.
All right. And so right now, Torga and Sephek, and there were two other individuals who were helping her set up her kind of ramshackle stands or carts and she has like awnings to kind of protect things from the falling snow. She's got crates of goods. They were getting set up early in the morning or as close to morning as you can approximate in Icewind Dale on the southern entrance of Targos. And Targos is another city of 10 towns that is encircled by a wooden wall that kind of encompasses the whole thing, even so much as the wall kind of protrudes into the lake that this town sits on, kind of sheltering the harbor in this town. Let's see here. Okay, so yeah, you've interacted with this traveling merchant. What would you like to do now? You can kind of continue to do that. You have Gigroth, after talking with some animal friends, kind of having some squirrels and rabbits, and your new companion Sebastian, the lizard, kind of staking things out, hopefully getting him some information later. You can check out the town of Targos. You can continue shopping and interacting with these people. What would you like to do?
I'm good to go into town. I would like to visit the local like meat market and area because I want to pick up like two really large slabs of meat that we could potentially throw over one of the tauntauns. That way, if we do have to transport the body under a rag or something like that, you know what I mean? The meat might cover it and kind of let it sink instead of just having a body shaped bag over one of the animals as we're traveling.
Yeah, and there's a general store called Triglio in the town of Targos. If I can bring up my map here, it's kind of in the center of town, away from the harbor. Yeah, it's a general store. You'll be able to find all sorts of goods there. Yeah, if you'd like to visit that place, you absolutely can.
Yeah, it's just something I want to get done. I don't know if anyone else wants to do any kind of specific searching around and whatnot.
I think I'm good overall. The only question I was going to have is, do we have a way to follow Torga and Sephek? I know that we had sent out Sebastian to sort of like Gigaroth had left Sebastian to sort of be like our eyes and ears, but do we have a way to like follow them to know what tavern to pull the plane at?
I am not stealthy, so I am not the one to do it.
Okay.
I do have like the squirrels and the rabbits like tailing them. So if I could probably coordinate with the animals a little bit more and like, okay, so follow them. Like two of you follow each person, and like one of you report back to me in like an hour, wherever or whatever, and then like just constantly keeping track on them, tabs on them.
I'm cool with that.
And I can tell
Yep.
them, okay, meet me, and and I can also ask them like, okay, what areas or do you all know as animals? What areas do you know? Is like, oh, we know this tree over here, or this rabbit hole over here, or whatever the case is. That all right, I'm gonna be here. Report back to me, every hour or every so often.
Okay. Yeah. So your final word to these animals and rabbits. You have the spell Speak with Animals, correct? As a Goliath.
Correct.
You said okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you kind of let them know. All right, we're gonna meet. Is there a specific spot you want to meet just outside of town, or you're just gonna say we're gonna be at such and such tavern?
It's here.
Yeah, there are two other places of interest in Targos, and Gigroth, you would know of these being from Icewind Dale. Cyrus, you've been here a while as well, so I don't know if you've been to these places in particular, but you at least know of them. There's a place called the Luskin Arms, which is the inn, and they'll have like they're not a tavern, so they're not like fully food amenities, but they do have some, like continental breakfast sort of thing. There's a lot of, it's like a nice meeting place there, the Luskin Arms, and then there's the Three Flags Sailing, which is the tavern here in Targos. And both the Luskin Arms and Three Flags Sailing are kind of on the harbor. So where the frozen lake meets the shore, both of these places can be found there.
Are they like immediately close to each other, like, or are they like maybe like a couple of blocks apart or something like that?
Well, Targos is only a population of about 1,000 people, and that is one of the bigger towns in 10 towns. So they are, I would say, a couple blocks away from each other.
Okay. I didn't know if we wanted to like. I guess we have the animals. I was just gonna say like if those are the only two like real notable places, we can like kind of wait outside and sort of like scout out to see if we see them like walk by later in the evening. But I think we could just rely on the animals for now.
So
Okay.
we could always like keep guard, like just making sure that they do come into the city and that like they don't close up their stand for the night and like go somewhere else.
Yeah,
So
we could rotate shifts, like 2-hour shifts or whatnot. Post up near the gate.
Yeah,
Okay.
that sounds good.
All right. So the plan is to just kind of watch them, make sure everything's okay, and kind of follow them
Yeah.
after they're done packing things up before they move on.
Correct. Yes,
Okay.
and we'll rotate so it doesn't look like one of us is just sitting there for 6 hours watching them or whatnot.
Okay. Is there anything else you guys want to do when you're not on your watch shift? Because this presumably, well, as you know, as you were told from what was it, Lynn, the bounty hunter? I can't remember her name.
Yes, Bryn Chandler.
Yeah, in Bryn Shander.
Oh,
She,
I'm sorry. Hulin Trollbane.
okay. She told you that that it's a traveling merchant, so they're gonna float from city to city. So you can assume that after tonight they're gonna be moving on to some other city. So okay. All right. So yeah. So who's gonna take first watch?
I want to go into town and get the supplies and whatnot, so I can come back and relieve someone second shift.
Yeah, I'll
Alright.
take first watch.
Okay.
So I'll just kind of post up by the gate and just sort of like hang out there. What I might do is I do have a disguise kit in my inventory. Can I just like grab like a wig or something out of there, or just like just some different clothes or something, just so I look a little bit different, just make it like not blatantly obvious it's me.
Sure. Yeah. Definitely. Make me a just a deception check to see how well you are disguised.
That's a nat 20, so that's 25.
Oh yeah, there's no way that any of these people would be able to tell that you are the same person who so rudely complained about a rotten cantaloupe previously.
I mean, how is it my fault that the cantaloupe is rotting? Like, that seems like your problem, man.
All right, so Cyrus is going to be posted up in his wig, just chilling outside of the gates, kind of watching things go on. I'll get back to you in a second. Zyma, you and presumably Gigroth and Akuma head over to Triglio, the general store.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you enter in, and it's got all the same things that any normal general store could buy. There's kind of this gangly looking fellow behind the counter, and you can see that his left hand is deformed in a way. Kind of like his fingers like look crushed. Just kind of has this deformed left hand, and they're sitting behind the counter. And as you walk in, good day, hello.
Hello, my friend. We are new in town and seeking potential supplies for further expeditions.
Well, yeah.
I take it we came to the right place.
Absolutely. Well, so long as your expeditions isn't your supplies you need are fishing supplies.
And why is that exactly?
Well, I had a bad experience with one.
I see. So it's tempting to avoid the problem, learning from your previous mistakes, no?
Yes, I don't deal with any of that stuff anymore. So if you're looking for fishing supplies, you'll have to, well, head to a different town or find something else. But if there's anything else you need, I got you covered.
I must admit, you have piqued my interest. Dare I say the mishap was for practicality or potential reward?
You're asking about how his hand got crushed?
Mm-hmm. I mean, indirectly, like, I mean, did he hold up his hand when he was like previous accidents or no?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay, yeah. I want to know, like, was it just a random fishing accident, or was he going after something that he shouldn't have, or whatnot?
He says, well, I was out on the lake, and oh, let's see here. Which lake is that? He says, I was out fishing on Mare Dwalden, which is the lake right here, and there's other boats out there, and I swear I saw a giant serpent of some sort in the waters. And the other boats must have seen it too. They lost track of what they were doing, and as I was leaning over the boat looking, boats collided and crushed my hand.
Oh dear. Well, that seems extremely unfortunate, but also not particularly a fishing accident, if I will.
Well,
No?
we were out there fishing, and that's what happened. This giant, I could have sworn it was a serpent. I'd never seen anything like it. Swam by, and the other fishermen did too, and well, just lost track of where we were in the water, and our boats collided, and my hand happened to get caught in between them.
Have there been any other sightings of such a beast since then?
Occasionally, people will mention it, but not too often.
And has it terrorized the populace at all? Or has it simply just been roaming around in its neighborhood? Its natural habitat, if you will.
You know, come to think of it, it sounds like, now that I think back on it, the fishermen do seem to be being terrorized by it, but only fishermen from Bremen. Which is just the next town over. You'll have to cross the frozen river to get there. The trail's been lost due to this winter and snowstorms, but you'll have to cross the frozen river to get there. It's about a 3-hour travel time from here to there.
I see. And that's via walking or through sled?
Oh, that's if you're on foot. But if you've got yourself a dog sled or other means of transportation to get there, it'll take a little bit. You can take a little bit of that time off.
I see. Speaking of trade routes, friend, I'm looking to potentially enterprise here. Are there any standard trade routes between the 10 towns? Or is it something that all of the cities interact with each other equally?
Oh, well, that's definitely not the case. It seems like the towns on their respective their respective lakes tend to keep by themselves. Although I have heard that in East Haven, which is on the other river, or which is on the other lake, Loch Dinishir, they've shut down their ferry service to get to the other cities on that lake. I don't know why, but that used to be a major trade route for delivering mead from good mead to the other cities.
I see. And so the potential adult beverage trade has been diminished due to this?
It's been disrupted over there a little bit. We still get all of ours, no problem. The roads from here to Bryn Shander, up to Tourmaline and Lonelywood, and even over to East Haven, the trails are still pretty active.
I see. Absolutely delightful. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for being so candid with us.
Oh, yes,
One
no problem.
one thing that might be of personal interest to myself, are there any towns that stand out for their mining prospects, potentially?
For their mining process. Well, give me one moment here. I have to check one city out for that.
Mm-hmm.
Says, well, Tourmaline, which is about 4 hours along the trail to the northeast, there's a mine next to them on the way to Kelvin's Cairn. And you have a map that you were given to by Acquisitions Incorporated. So you can see all these trails and all these landmarks on that map. He says there's shield dwarves live up there and mine ore in the mountains there. There's obviously the spine of the world to the south, but other than that, no, not too much in the way of mining. And the dwarves pretty much have that industry covered.
Excellent. Thank you so much. I cannot thank you enough.
Oh,
Please allow me to purchase some merchandise from you as a token of my thanks and appreciation.
Oh, of course, yes. What can I get you?
First off, I'd like. What is your meat selection? Do you have any large slabs that could essentially carry for quite some days? Maybe some salted curated meat?
Well, knucklehead trout is the biggest is the biggest meat trade here, so I can get you some, and they're basically like tuna steaks essentially.
Hmm.
Or you could get like full size fish. Those would be your meat options here.
Yes, yes, that's exactly what I'm looking for. I'd like two entire fish, if possible, please.
Oh, sure, absolutely. And these things are, they definitely range in size. 5-6 pounds for these fish. And I
Do
would.
is there anything that might resemble kind of like a hock of meat on a butcher's hook? Anything that size?
Oh yeah, you could get a full fish and string it on a hook, for sure.
Okay, yeah, I'd like to. My goal was to get something that looks like regular supplies that we could throw over the tauntauns
Okay,
to where it kind of breaks up the silhouette of the body. So if as we're
gotcha.
leaving town or if someone sees us, we don't just have a body hang over our
Sure.
sled.
Yeah. Yeah, and absolutely, you can get a couple of fish. Let me get a price on that. Where is
Cool.
it? Expenses. Food, drink, and lodging. Chunk of meat, 3 silver. Okay, so I would say each fish is probably in the neighborhood of like 5 silver.
Okay, yeah, I'll get two of those.
Okay.
And then I'd like some more coffee grounds and trying to think what else we would and some rope and a 10-foot pole.
Okay. Yeah. So, what are those prices? The real D&D, just looking things up.
And actually, you know what? Let's throw in a bag of grain as well in case we got to hide something small. We
Okay.
can hide it in the grain.
50 feet of rope is a gold.
Okay.
I would say your coffee grounds, your drink mix, is probably in the neighborhood of another gold. And then what else did you say?
A bag of grain.
Okay, so a pound of wheat is 1 copper. So let's see, what is that? Let's say a 10-pound bag, or I guess a big one would be like a 20-pound bag. So what is that?
Mm?
2 silver.
Yep. Cool. Yeah, and that'll do it for me. I don't know if anyone else wants to get anything while we're here. So 2 gold, 20 silver, right? Is that where I'm at?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yep, that's good enough.
Okay. All right. Anything else from Triglio, the general store?
Do you have like an apron, notepad, and ink pens?
Yeah, I would say so. Well, yeah, absolutely. Sure. And he kind of goes in the back room and rummages around a bit and comes out and says, "This is a not typical request. May I ask what you're going to be using these for?"
Oh, I'm hoping to find some local employment in a tavern once we get moving on into 10 towns.
You don't really seem like the waitering type. And he makes a gesture towards your horns. He's like, "Please excuse my forwardness, but typically the service maidens have a certain sense of hospitality to them."
Oh, I apologize. I just came off the boat. We can be a little harsh on the sea.
Well,
And we're going to use thaumaturgy to kind of like make my eyes glow like with slight fire, not full on flame,
okay.
but just like embers.
Well, please, I meant no offense. I'm sorry. Here you go. And yeah, you got yourself like a couple pages of parchment, an apron, and I guess a quill, ink and quill.
And how much was that?
What is
Free after the stunt you pulled. Intimidation.
Okay, so an ink pen is two copper. 1 ounce bottle of ink. Oh my gosh, is expensive.
That he didn't have any like I can't imagine like being a server and I'm sitting there with my quill and my ink bottle. I'm like, hold on,
Sure.
sorry, let me get this order down. He didn't have any pens.
I don't know if pens exist in
Crayons,
the Forgotten
maybe?
Forgotten
They are
Realms.
in the equipment. Like I can add an ink pen to my inventory.
Oh, okay. Sure. Yeah, definitely do that. And then an apron. I don't know. It's a piece of cloth. How much are just like common clothes? I don't know. I'll get that for you when I find it.
Half gold piece for common clothes.
And I would say
Like
half
silver.
of that because it's not even full common clothes. It's literally just a piece of cloth you're going to be draping on yourself.
Whoa, these prices are ridiculous. Let me haggle with you for 20 minutes.
All right. So they're getting all that stuff around. Cyrus, I need you to make me a perception check.
Perception.
Mm-hmm.
16.
16. Okay. So you can see them continue to, in your 2-hour wait here, you can see them continue to set things up. And once they kind of get things all set up, you can see the two mooks, the two individuals, they walk over to the carts. And as you just eye them, you can see that she has 2 dog sleds with 6 dogs each that are all sitting there by it. And there are still mounds of things piled up on these carts. You can also see 2 squirrels kind of run up, and they just like kind of stand on end, and they look around, and then they get down and run away. And they kind of go to the other sides of the carts, stand up, look around, run off away. So despite the setup, everything's still set up there. There's still more stuff back at her sleds.
Oh, you're saying that there's like all the stuff on the sleds are like backup supplies and
Yeah.
merchandise.
Well, yeah. It's kind of tarped off with like blankets and rope over them, but there's still more stuff, despite her market being fully set up now.
Do I see Sebastian?
You do not.
Okay. I guess in character I don't have any attachment to him, but you know, IRL I'm very concerned.
Sure. Okay.
That's all I see?
Yep. And the 2 mooks are just kind of like standing back, leaning up against all of the extra carts and stuff. Sephek continues to stay by Torga's side.
How far is the sled and everything from the stands?
Pretty close actually. So like the market kind of creates this U shape with like 2 lines of goods, and then they kind of meet in the back where she has a stand set up and she's standing by. Every once in a while, someone will come up and purchase something, and you can see her pull out a little box and make the money exchange, set the box kind of back down underneath this desk. And then directly behind that is where, no more than 10 feet away from that stand, what would be like the sales counter is where everything else is still, all her sleds and her dogs are.
Okay. And are the 2 mooks, do they seem like pretty vigilant, or are they kind of slacking off, kind of just like
they
fucking whatever?
The impression that you get is they're just kind of like hired hands, help me move this thing, you take that, move it over there. They're not
Okay.
They're not salesmen, that's for sure.
Okay. I think I'll just leave it be. Just kind of keep eyeing up from a distance. Sit there, play with a dagger or a candle or something. Just occupying myself. I need to buy a deck of cards.
Sit there and play with them.
Yeah, that's it. Just play solitaire.
Okay. All right. All right. So the rest of the group, are you gonna come back and meet, switch off?
Well, before that, I was gonna actually get something from the store.
Sure.
Let me go ahead and get that. Do I already have one? More rope. Yeah, let me get some more rope.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm gonna get the piece of cloth.
Okay.
Almost like yeah, just a not so much as a tiny piece of cloth, but like half a shirt size. And then I'm going to get chloroform if they have anything like that.
No, this and you. So you ask them, like, I'm sorry, we don't carry anything quite specialized like that. Your best bet for something like that is going to be from an apothecary, and you're not going to find any of those in this town.
Is there anything close? I ask because sometimes I have trouble sleeping. Night terrors, if you will. So I need some way to knock me back into sleep.
Make me a deception check. This is a very, very odd request. Someone typically doesn't ask for a poison that's going to knock someone out very regularly.
I would like to take the help action and be like, oh, yes, he's. I'll be honest with you. I feel like sometimes I have the night terrors with him. He is so restless in the evening.
The screams are awful.
Okay, so make that check with advantage then.
We may have lost him for a minute.
Uh-oh.
My apologies. Something happened and it just completely went out.
Too much chloroform.
There we go. Fricked. All right. Let me get you that roll, Nick.
Okay.
It's with advantage in case you didn't hear
Yep,
it.
that roll is with advantage.
All right, because I rolled a 12. So let's 16.
16, huh? Okay. He says, well, the only person that I know that even might come close to being able to help you out there is a little gnome named Copper, who makes his residence at the house of the Morning Lord in Bryn Shander. Your best bet for something like that would be to talk to him. And he kind of gives you a weird look, like he's not really so sure of you. He buys your tale of night terrors and sleeping. You need a sleeping potion, but he's eyeing you up and down.
Okay. Thank you very much for that piece of information. You do you happen to know female women of the night in the area?
Oh, he kind of starts blushing a little bit. Nah, I can understand you wanting to needing someone to get you through the night. The warmth of someone else in these cold times can help, but I certainly don't know anyone around here. Your best bet is to check possibly in one of the other towns, like Lonelywood, or what would be another one? What would be another good one? Maybe in East Haven.
Okay. Well, look, the reason why I ask is because you seem stressed. You seem a little out of it, if you will. I can sense the vibes of people. I'm what you call a people's person, and you just look like you need a beer, an ale, a little fun tonight. Um, would you care to join us later at a tavern? Um,
Well, well, I I I guess I wouldn't turn that down.
awesome, and I'll buy you every drink that you have, and on top of that, we're gonna find you a lady of the night.
Well, okay. Okay. Well, I guess I'll meet you at I'll meet you at Three Flags after I'm off work. After I
All
shut
right,
down for the night.
all right. Now let me get that gold and that. Sorry, not that. Let me get that rope.
Sure. Yeah. Yep. So let's see. It'd be like a gold and two silver for your piece of cloth and rope.
All right. And I'll Giga's gonna go and shake his hand like very sturdily, like almost in a squishing his hand kind of way.
Mm-hmm. Oh, don't hurt my other hand. I've only got one of these.
Ah, don't worry about it. That missing hand you got is a looks like an awesome battle scar. You should flaunt it. You should flaunt with it.
Well, I'll take that into consideration.
All right. Oh, we will pass by for you. I will pass by for you, and let's see where the night goes.
Okay. All right. Okay. So, while other people are taking their shifts watching Torg, is there any? Does anyone want to? Is anyone going to check out the other places, or what? Is there anything you would like to do while keeping an eye on Torga? Anything else?
Zymat, do you have this next shift?
Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and relieve Cyrus after I'm done getting the stuff, and then, but before I do, I'll just say that since we can't get any chloroform, like we can always just choke the dude out or knock him out, considering that we have a huge giant barbarian that can do it. So since you already have to grapple him, Gigaroth, you could probably just choke him out to knock him out if we need to get him out of there. Um, and there's always the contingency. I don't want to kill the dude, but we may have to if he decides to fight back. And then, so
Shove a loaf of bread in his mouth and like gag him so he can't make any noises.
Yeah, for sure. Because we know he's a caster, so we're gonna have to tie his hands, which I think Akuma can do since he's a sailor. He's good with knots because we need to tie his hands so he can't do his mannerism components for his spells, and then we definitely need to gag him so he can't use his verbal components either. And then, and then nothing but love for you, Gigroth, but we might have to explain the keeping a low profile thing to you, because I don't think inviting a known traitor in town to a place where we're going to do some unlawful acts is conducive to what we're trying to do here. But yeah, I'll go ahead and relieve Cyrus.
Okay.
And I would like to, once we're done at the shop, Zymat splits off. I'm gonna go do 3 sales, and I just kind of want to scout out the tavern.
Okay. All right. So you enter in. The I assume the Cyrus and Gigroth are going with Akuma here into the tavern.
Yeah, I'll go with them.
Okay.
The only thing I want to do is stop and just grab a deck of cards. I'll deduct however much that is. I'm not gonna make a big deal out of being in the shop.
Yeah. Okay, so you get your deck of cards. You make your way to the Three Flags Sailing Tavern, which is kind of if the walls are going around Targos, it's kind of in the center of the shoreline of Targos. All right, so you go in and you can see that this tavern, there's a few fishermen in there. It's kind of midday, so you would assume that most of the fishermen would be out working. But there's a few in there, and there is a plump, old, gray-haired woman kind of waddling around serving up beers to everyone. Make me a perception check, Akuma. And actually, Gigroth and Cyrus, you can make me a perception check as well.
It's a 17 from Akuma.
Okay.
Blackjack.
11 for Gigroth.
Okay.
21.
Okay. Yes. So Cyrus and Akuma, you can hear these fishermen or these people referring to their waitress as Ma, just M-A. Oh, thanks, Ma. You're always so good to us. And oh dearie, I love when you come around here. How's fishing? And they're just talking back and forth. It's very, very friendly atmosphere towards the individual who's serving up drinks. This older woman serving up drinks, and she kind of waddles back behind the counter. Now, you boys eating good? Fishing's good out there? Oh yeah, oh yes. And yeah, very, very friendly.
Could you describe Ma just a little bit for us?
Sure. She's kind of has this like green, I don't know, it's almost like a green dress isn't the right term, but it's full body length, and then there's this brown apron over top of it. She's definitely plump, round figure, shorter. She is human, and gray hair that she has kind of put up into a bun.
Is she like a human or like
She is human.
Okay. Excellent.
And did we gain anyone's attention when we walked in?
Not really. People like as people do when someone walks through a door, a little bit of attention, but they kind of turn back to, their meals and their drink. And she's got 2 empty mugs in her hands, and she's walking back. She looks over to you. Individual, please have a seat. I'll be with you as soon as I can. And she walks back and goes back into the kitchen. Disappears there.
Yeah. I'm gonna take a seat at whatever table she motioned to.
I'll follow suit.
Yeah, as you guys take your seats, she comes walking back out, and she says, "Well, are you just getting started for the day or finishing up?"
Just getting started for now, but
Well, what can I do for y'all?
I would just like a bowl of porridge and an ale, please.
Oh, absolutely.
I will take what's the house special?
Well, we have knucklehead trout stew.
Oh, absolutely. Give me a bowl of that and a glass of wine. Or an ale, a tankard of wine. I don't care how you serve it to me.
Absolutely. And you, big boy?
I will take 1 bowl of your stew, please, and I will also have your strongest whatever you.
Oh, absolutely. She says, "I'll get you some of that good mead from Good Mead," and she waddles back into the kitchen and comes out with all your with everything. And one of the other tables says, "Ma, another round for us over here." "Oh, boys, you drink way too much. That's gonna catch up to you one of these days." And so she's off running around taking care of everything. It's this place isn't too filled. There's maybe 2 or 3 tables that have people, that have individuals at it. I don't know if you can interact with the other fishermen or with the other people here. If you want to talk to Ma, you can.
I'm just gonna kind of mumble to like Cyrus and Gigroth and just be like, I'm kind of feeling bad about knocking out Ma.
Wait, we were gonna knock out Ma?
She appears to be the only server here, so
That is true. Unless there's a way I could,
get in the
yeah.
kitchen.
I mean, we weren't gonna knock her out, right? We were just gonna have Cyrus flirt with her and keep her occupied.
Although if she's the only wait staff here, then like, I don't know if that's gonna go over so easily.
Yeah, we got to get her out of eyesight, so Cyrus is just gonna have to get her in the kitchen.
Guess I'll have to do what I gotta do.
And that's
Whenever
and that is. I'm sorry.
What-
And that is why I invited the merchant, because he can be like our diversion, if anything, like our backup diversion.
Okay,
All I gotta do is get him drunk, and have him act like a.
fair enough.
Okay.
The next time Ma comes around, I just kind of want to like
Mhm.
talk with her a little bit. Just like I've I've got to say, I've been to my fair share of taverns, but I have not been to one with anybody who's been as friendly or as hospitable as this place has been. You guys are just excellent.
Oh, honey, you are way too kind to me.
Not kind enough. Say, have you heard of that? That Torg, what's the name? Torga, like it's a merchant or something outside of town.
Oh, the traveling merchant. Oh yeah, always coming around here. She makes her rounds to all the 10 towns, but yeah, she likes to set up shop every once in a while. It's not always great for my business when she does, but I suppose it's okay.
That's too bad to hear. She ever come in here, or any of her crew ever come in here?
Yeah, well, they like to stay over at the Luskin Arms, the inn, but they're usually up pretty early, getting ready to go to their next town. Yeah, come to think of it, yeah, her and her boys will usually come in here after a good hard day's work.
Okay, so yeah, they like to. I imagine they got to get a couple of drinks in after a long day out in the cold and everything.
Yep,
I just wanna say thank you.
her and her two boys are always, yep, they are always in here.
Are they like her actual sons, or just like her boys, as in like her employees?
Oh, I refer to everyone that comes in here as their boys. But yeah, it's just her. I would assume they work for her in some capacity.
You are just precious. I just want to thank you for your service, and kind of go to kind of do like a handshake, just like shake her hand, but like I've got a gold in there and kind of deliver it to her.
Mm-hmm. Oh, today's
Like,
my
it's-
lucky day. I tell you what, you ask Ma anything, I'll be more than happy to tell you.
Be happy to come back around. Thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. And what's your name? What's your name, lad?
I assume I'm not in my disguise anymore. Like I discarded that after.
No, you're totally in your disguise, and then you like pull your wig off. Ha ha! It's me. It's someone different. No,
Okay.
no, you're
no, I was
you're-
asking. Like I didn't clarify that. So if you were like, no, you're still in your disguise because
No,
you didn't say anything.
I would assume that you are back. You're back to normal.
Okay. Yeah. I'm like, well, my name is Cyrus.
Well, Cyrus, it's very nice to meet you. My name is Ethan Yarbrel, but you can just call me Ma. That's what everyone calls me.
Marlboro?
Yarbrel.
Oh, I thought you said Marlboro. Like, oh, she a smoker.
She's
then.
a
Okay.
smoker. My name's Ethan Yarbrel.
See, that's
What are you guys
that's
doing?
much-
How you guys doing tonight?
That's world building right there. All right, I'm done.
Okay.
Gigroth. So as Gigroth is just like chowing down on. What did we ever get our food delivered to us?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Just making sure. He's just like, and then he looks over to Ma. And he's like, "Excuse me, little Ma.
Oh, what can I get for you?
Well, I was hoping I can get another bowl of this delicious soup, and people may call you Ma, but you look like a mature fox, if you would.
Oh,
I
you
got a
flatter
friend that's
you,
a little.
you flatter me too much.
No. I'm a little out there in the community, if you know what I mean. I got a friend who needs to be shown what it means to be a man. Are you with anybody at the moment?
Well, I'm a widow. My
Oh,
husband's my husband's died years ago.
that is truly unfortunate, little ma.
I'm sorry, quick side note. Did she say husbands or husband?
Husband.
Oh, okay. Just didn't know if this was
If
a recurring theme.
if I could set you up with a friend, maybe talk, a couple of drinks here and there. I sure really would appreciate it. He's a little bit of a greenhorn if you know what I mean.
Well, I'd hate to disappoint you, but I'm more than happy to show him a little hospitality. But believe me, my courting days are long past me.
Oh, you underestimate yourself, little ma. I'm sure. I'm sure if you were to meet him, you find him quite the specimen. But just let me know if before we leave if you reconsider.
I will, Sonny.
All
I
right.
like how the southern draw has just like infected all of us at this point. It's just after Ma shows
It
up,
really
everyone
has.
just has like a little well, thank you, dear. I most appreciate it.
All right, Zymot, make me your perception check.
Roger that. 13.
13. Okay. Yeah, you notice the same things that Cyrus did. Every once in a while, a little animal will come up and kind of check the scene, but you can see the box that she pulls out, making her money exchanges. You can see the two mooks kind of in back. Every once in a while, Torga will have them kind of put out new merchandise, and Sephek never leaves Torga's side.
Do I identify anything as shady that she might be doing, trying to swindle people, pickpocket, or anything like that?
No, nothing shady. It seems to be a very legitimate business. It's just everything is super expensive.
Okay, cool. Roger that.
Okay. All right. So you get done at. I assume you guys are done at the tavern after you're done eating. Okay. A couple hours have gone by. Relieve Zymot, and I'm just gonna kind of like. Sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry, I just had one quick thing that just popped into my head. I was gonna ask Ma if she had heard about the murders, like the ones that that we heard about from the woman at the last bar, the bounty hunter.
Mm-hmm.
Because I would assume that's sort of like a local like news and everything. Like that's pretty big buzz around towns.
Oh
like,
yeah,
towns.
word definitely gets around about that. I would hope that the speakers and their second in commands would be looking into it, but those murders are happening, and I kind of just I hope nothing happens to my boys that are here in this that come and visit me in this tavern. I don't know what I'd do if I'd lose any of them.
Oh, that'd be awful. We just heard about that getting into town recently. It made me a little nervous about being around.
Yeah, and the one 10 days ago just happened outside the Luskin Arms. That
was here?
Well, yeah, one of the murders 10 days ago just happened here in Targos. Just outside the Luskin Arms, they found his body with a ice shard in his heart. Real tragic.
That's brutal. That'll make you stop and reassess your life. I kind of look over at Akuma and Gigaroth and say, fellas, maybe we want to get out of town after all. I don't know if we want to stick around here too long. I don't actually mean it. I'm just sort of like saying that just to kind of put on a...
Sure. And she says, Ma says, well, if you decide to leave and you ever come back, you're always welcome here.
This will be the first place I come back, Mom.
Oh, excellent.
If anything, I'm gonna start working here. This soup is delicious.
Oh, well, there's more where that came from.
Oh, I do not know it.
Okay. All right. So I'm just going to kind of like fast track this a little bit, unless the next shift happens, unless there's something specific anyone wants to do on the other shifts.
I just wanted to, while we were still at the tavern, I know you wanted a fast track, but I just kind of wanted to lean back to some of the fishermen or people that looked like fishermen,
Mm-hmm.
and ask if any of them, make their living on the water.
And it says, I'm out there every day.
Do you guys know anything about this serpent? The lad at Triglio said that there's been one seen around here.
I haven't seen it myself, but well, Boris, you saw it out there. Oh my gosh, yeah. It's a dwarf and a human. He says, I was out there, and this giant serpent comes. I swear I saw it come swimming by, and made a big splash and tried to topple one of the boats from Bremen.
Specifically Bremen, huh?
You know, every single story, boats from Lonelywood and Tourmaline and Targos out there in Bremen, but it only seems to be terrorizing the Bremen boats. Strange that none of the other towns on that lake have been terrorized by this beast.
And do you know any survivors from Bremen that were on this ship?
Other than Justin down at Triglio, no. But you'd be hard pressed to get any mother fisherman from Bremen to go out on that lake.
Oh, so the fishermen from Bremen, what was the deal with them before these serpent attacks? Were they good fishermen? Did they have a specialty?
Oh well, yeah. I mean, most of the industry in this town is based on fishing these lakes. Bremen was no different. And they'd send their boats out on the lake and get to fishing. But ever since these attacks on the water, this terrorizing on the water, they're not going out there.
All right. Well, I guess just one last question. Obviously, I'm new to the area. Does Bremen have, any sort of rivalry with any of the other towns?
Well, the towns on this lake are always bragging about who gets the biggest catch and who catches the biggest fish. So I think it's fair to say that here in Targos and Tourmaline and Lonelywood would all be considered Bremen's rivals, at least as far as the fishing industry goes.
All right. Well, what was your name again?
What did I say? Boris?
I think that was it.
I think I'm Boris.
Well, thank you for your time, Boris. I appreciate you answering my questions.
Yeah, no problem. Okay. Okay, so you guys meet back up with Zymot, and you continue taking these shifts. These shifts for about the next 8 hours. And at that time, Gigroth, this will be on your watch, where they are packing things up and loading things up into their sleds, and you can see them come in. You see them take off into the town of Targos and head to the Luskin Arms.
All right.
And are you going to follow them?
So I'm gonna send the animals, the squirrels, like the rabbits. I'll give them like a piece of bread or like a ration, like things for the help guys.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll send the squirrels to actually like follow them around, since they'll be a lot more inconspicuous compared to rabbits in the city.
Mm-hmm.
And from there, like once they actually go in, I'll let the squirrels know, like, hey, once they actually go into the tavern, hurry back really quick, let us know, and then we'll proceed to the tavern.
Okay,
if that's okay with everybody else.
Yeah, this is actually not the tavern that Torga and Sephek and her mooks go to. This is actually the Luskin Arms,
right.
the inn.
Right, the inn. Sorry, I got them switched.
Okay, all right. So you're going to meet back up with the group then, and let them know.
Yeah. I'll let them know everything that I've been told, like as my little scouts have been watching.
Okay.
Do I happen to? So as they enter the gate, um, does Sebastian? Does he like jump off and come to me, or is he still like stuck on them, like or tailing, hiding in their
You can
supplies?
actually see as they go riding into the city on their dog sleds with all of their goods, and there's two of them big. You can actually see Sebastian clinging on to the back of one of the sleds.
Okay, awesome. So I know he's still alive. Um, I'm wondering if I should call out to Sebastian or should I just let him stay with. What do you guys think?
I would say not break his current stealth mission. I think drawing attention would not be ideal.
All right.
Confirmation.
All right. So Sebastian shall stick on them like stink on shit and continue from there.
Okay. All right. So you guys all meet back up. What would you like to do? Are you gonna kind of stick around or meet back up at the Three Flags and wait for Torga and everyone to get there, or are you gonna go to the Luskan Arms?
How many rooms are at the Luskan Arms?
It's a pretty big inn. I don't think you would have any trouble finding a room there.
Do the rooms have windows?
I would assume some of them do. So I assume you guys are like congregated outside of the Luskan Arms then, if you're looking up to find out if there's windows, or on your watch or on someone's watch at least as you're, you know, going about the town, you can stop and see at least the outside of the building.
I mean, we can't just like bank on them showing up at 3 sales. Like, we've at least got to scout out what they're doing at Luskan Arms, right?
Yeah, I would
Right.
think so.
So, I mean, I can find familiar to make like a little like ghost-looking butterfly. That's probably a little too conspicuous.
A ghost squirrel.
To like check out the windows, see if we can see them in any of the rooms, see what they're doing.
Even just like a spider or something that could like, or a rat that could like crawl in the maybe into the building, see if we can get like eyes in there. But I like the find familiar idea.
Do I spot like any small ins? What would your ruling be on that, Nick? Because I do have another spell where it's called Beast Sense. I touch a willing beast, and I can see and hear everything they see and hear. Like, would
Okay.
that work on insects or
No, I don't believe insects are beasts. I could be wrong
long shot?
about
But
that.
all right.
Is a squirrel a beast?
I think so. I think most common animals are considered beasts.
So this is just an idea. Like I'm still cool with our plan, but if we're unable to fully distract the waitress, what we could do is sort of have I would assume me go over and like start drinking with Torga and Sephek and just sort of like start drinking and talking bullshit whatever with them. Then get either like Zamet or Gigaroth and make like a big like fight or a ruckus or do something to distract them, like, or maybe even get into a fight with Sephek at the bar just to like sort of like, make a distraction and then go for like a sleight of hand, try to slip in the ghoul gut when they're distracted by the fight. I'm saying that as like a backup plan.
Gigroth definitely tried to touch my horns.
Yeah. Yeah, we could
Wait.
have like two of you fight and then have like the third one come in and be like, guys, break it up or whatever kind of thing. And then like my sleight of hand isn't great, but it's like +5, so it's okay. Like it's if we can't get the waitress out of the way is all I'm thinking.
I mean, another option as well is that like if we're really worried about them not showing up, they have to spend the night somewhere. We can always just snag them wherever they crash for the night, right?
That's true. We could just like break in or
So the four of you've kind of like tailed them to the Luskan Arms right now, and you're like discussing this for trying to figure out what your next move is. Everyone, make me a perception check.
While we're doing that, I'd also like to know what's the traffic in the area that we're at right now.
Some very light foot traffic. It's kind of getting down to the end of the day, or what would be daylight. The very little of it, so it's starting to get darker, and you can see more people coming in off of the harbor, making their way to either homes, making their way to Three Flags, making their way into Luskan Arms. So there's a little bit more traffic, as like workers are kind of like ending their time for the day, either choosing to do it at the tavern, at the inn, or in their own homes. So there's a little bit of foot traffic.
Okay. 10 for Zymot.
Okay.
So another 17 for Makuma.
11 for Gigaroth.
23. Jeez, I'm not looking forward to combat. I'm using up all my good rolls now.
Okay. So it was 23 for Cyrus. What were yours, Akuma and Gigaroth? Again?
11.
11.
17.
Okay. So all of you notice that Torga is there is like almost like a garage where she's parking her cart, putting like kenneling her dogs outside of the Luskan Arms. You can see after they kind of get everything situated there, everything's all locked up. She pays an individual from. You can see money exchange hands with her. That person goes inside of the Luskan Arms, and her and the two mooks turn and walk, continue walking north along the coast towards the direction of where the Three Flags sailing is. However, Sephek kind of falls back a little bit, and Cyrus and Akuma, you can definitely see him watching towards upper windows in the Luskan Arms. You can definitely see that he is like fixated on certain areas of the Luskan Arms.
I wonder if he's just like watching guard, or if he's like scouting out for another potential murderer. Like given given if he is the murderer, I'm just spitballing here.
Yeah, that's why they were in there. It was less about the arms and more about finding out something. I mean, we could do that when we interrogate him, right?
So
Right,
we can
right.
just take him right now.
That is true. He is kind of like the problem.
Yeah,
Problem
I'm down
character.
with that.
Yeah, he's behind. So like they're still together as a group, the four of them, but he's not right by Torga's side. He's kind of fallen back probably by about 50 feet or so.
That's good enough a window as any. Can we time it?
So-
Throw him into an alley, or can you minor illusion something to pull him away from the main street?
I was just wondering if I could just like bump into him, just sort of like be like, "Hey, watch it, man," and just like start some shit with him, and then kind of like lead him back into an alley after he's aggroed on, and then that's where you guys are waiting at. I don't know if we can. If he's still moving forward, we maybe aren't able to pull that off.
Yeah. In addition, there's other people around too walking the streets,
Okay.
because this is along the shore of the harbor, as it heads up to the Three Flags sailing.
Are there any
course.
buildings around us that look like they're empty?
No. Pretty much all of these buildings have individuals in them, or are homes or businesses occupied. None of them look like abandoned buildings.
Billy. So, is there an alleyway near where he's walking?
Yeah, yeah. As they're walking along, there would be an alleyway that kind of protrudes out along the shoreline of the harbor. Yeah, where there's buildings.
Back towards the city, though, away from the harbor?
Yeah.
All right. I need all three of you to go. Oh, fuck. I don't think that's going to work. Oh, man. So I have friends. So give me advantage on charisma checks. I could run up to him and be like, hey, my friend needs help. And try to convince him to come, like, and we can just, like, lure him into the alley and jump him.
You know what?
Okay.
Maybe we're looking at this the wrong way. Maybe instead of trying to convince him, we just use Cyrus to distract the crowd to draw the attention to him, the opposite direction from where old boy's at, and then the three of us freaking shove him into an alley.
Oh, just have me deter the attention of the crowd, and then you guys take the.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
Okay.
we only need like a 15-second distraction to freaking tackle him into the alley.
Yeah, I like that one.
All right, let's do it.
I'm going to use minor illusion to hide my antlers.
Okay.
Okay.
So really quick, when you say we're gonna pull them back into the alleyways, how do you guys want to go about that? Because
Tackle
I
him.
was thinking tackle them into well, the reason why I ask is because do you think Cyrus would be able to make enough a commotion to where they don't hear him like try to like yell or like anything? Like I was thinking maybe like do that James Bond thing or like like that ultimatum thing and just like them in the throat, like Gigoff just so he stops his vocals and then we pull him.
Do both. I mean, you and I could tackle him at the same time.
All right.
Okay.
All right, let's do it. It's on you, Cyrus.
All right. So sort of, I guess, on the opposite side of the street of where Sephek is at.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So there's a path that's along the coast. There's docks and whatnot in the harbor where there's frozen docks, frozen boats in there. People are walking in off of the harbor onto these streets, and then there's alleyways and roads that kind of connect to this walkway that you're on right now.
Okay. I'm trying to think of exactly what I want to do to cause commotion. I guess the only thing I can think of is just start a fight. So I'm just gonna like on the other side. I'm gonna start kind of like walking with like my hands in my pocket, just kind of like with like a bit of a scowl on my face, and just sort of like I want to sort of across the street there bump into somebody. No, I'm not gonna do that. I apologize. I'm changing my mind. If I actually get in a fight, I'm fucked. I can't actually do anything.
Prestidigitation to make a splash in the water and start screaming your baby.
Okay, yeah, okay, that's
So
that's,
the harbor's frozen, completely frozen. There's no open waters there. So unfortunately, I mean, you can do that. You can definitely do that, but the harbor is frozen.
I take it all back.
Okay. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna like walk into the crowd and I'm gonna bump into some guy, and as I bump into him, I'm gonna fall backward like I just got hit and just be like, "Oh God!" Like he just punched me or knocked me over or something. And just like I'm just gonna like scream out like that and make like a big show of it, like some dude just like knocked me over or some shit.
Okay. All right. All right. So make me let's see. This would be, I guess, a performance check, right?
I think
since this is like an
that's fair.
act, I think that's the closest approximation for this.
Okay.
And your check is basically going to determine how many of these people's attention that you grab.
14.
A 14. Okay. So you walk up and you bump into the biggest guy that you can find,
Well, I didn't say the biggest guy. Can we get like moderate size?
Okay,
slightly bigger than me.
Moderately sized human, and you fall onto the ground. Oh my gosh, I can't do any. What happened here? This guy just hit me, and you attract the attention of about half of the people who are walking. And the guys said, "What are you doing? This guy just ran into me. I don't know what he's talking about."
And I'm going to turn around and I'm going to run into the guy that Cyrus ran into, and I'm going to shove him, and I'm going to be like, "Hey, dude, get off of him."
And the four individuals, Torga, two mooks, and Sephek, who you are trailing, the two guys turn around and look. Sephek and Torga continue walking. And remember, they're about 50 feet apart.
All right, this looks like our move. Let's do it.
All right. So how do you want to do this? You
go high, I go low.
All right.
Go high, take his throat, do your James Bond chop, and I'm gonna clip him on the wayside and try to tackle him into the alley.
Fuck yeah! Is he wearing like some type of hoodie? Or like anything with like a hood, so that I can grab him from here and then just like yank him from the fucking back.
I mean, he's
just
got a collar. He's got a collar on his vest that you could grab onto, but there's no hood, and he doesn't actually. He's not even wearing any cold weather gear. Like, he's just got this vest. His sleeves are rolled up. His pants and his boots. Bare arms, bare face, no nothing.
He's wearing a vest.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like this guy.
Right.
Okay.
All right.
So you guys are gonna sprint and just try to tackle this guy into an alley.
Yes, sir.
All right. Make me this is going to be a grapple. I would say he's surprised. So both of you make me a strength athletics check with advantage.
Modified 20.
Okay.
Okay. I got modified 24.
Okay. I have a 14, so definitely you hear a big as both of you tackle him to the ground in the middle of the alley. The two mooks who are looking back see this happen and rush into the alley as well. It also drew the attention of two bystanders who also look your way. Let's get some initiative rolls.
Well, we had to get into combat at some point.
4.
Ooh.
Jesus, 24.
Scala showing up in spirit.
Got a 10.
15.
Okay. Cyrus, you are up first. You see this happen, and you still have a guy going, "What the heck? Why'd you run into me? What is going on here? This guy's lying."
I sort of, at this point, I guess, based on the situation, I kind of like slowly and feebly get up with like my hand over my gut. I'm like, oh, you know what, man? I thought I felt like this thought on my stomach. I thought you hit me. I'm so sorry. I think there was a misunderstanding here, dude. I apologize.
Jeez, watch where you're going. Oh my gosh.
And I was just gonna like move my way towards the towards the alley.
Towards the alley where they happen. Yeah. So he kind of
are they out of the? Sorry.
He dusts himself off, and after this exchange, he walks away. I'm going to count that as your action because you're kind of putting on this performance, but you can still take your movement, which will get you to the alley.
Okay, I was just going to ask, is it like, so you said the two guys, the two goons saw it happen, so they're moving towards the alley, and then the two bystanders saw it as well, and nobody else saw it?
Correct.
And like, I was mostly asking, I guess everybody's off. Everybody that's in the alley is like out of sight from the street now.
Yeah, currently the only three individuals who are in the alley are Sephek, Zamat, Zymot and Gigroth.
All right, I'll go ahead and move towards the alley.
Okay. So you can move 30 feet, you get into the alley and you can see them there. So you are up, you are basically as close to Zymot and Gigroth as you want to be.
All right.
As they have him
Yes.
pinned or tackled. I don't want to say pinned, but they have him grappled on the ground.
Okay, and so with grapple, can he like make like checks to get out of the grapple?
He can on his turn, yes.
Okay, so with that in mind, I'll use my bonus action to give Gigaroth a bardic inspiration die,
Okay.
and be done after that.
All right. Next up is these baddies. And the bystanders. And the two mooks, they come running in the alley as well. And they draw their scimitars. And they yell get off of them. And they will both make their attacks against one will make an attack against Gigroth, and one will make an attack against Zymot. So this is a melee attack.
Do they have to pass through Cyrus to get to us?
Well, Cyrus, how close to them do you want to be? Are you going to be at like the entrance to the alley, or are you getting right up next to Gigroth, Zymot, and?
Let's just say I'm at, I guess, the mouth of the alley, kind of like acting like I just walked in here by sheer coincidence, and I'm like, huh, what? Like with all like this going on.
Okay, so you're gonna basically pretend like you're a bystander.
Yeah, just like slap my fucking gob, like what?
Okay. The two other bystanders kind of come up next to you and are doing the same thing. What? Huh? What's going on? They're just kind of like trying to survey the scene. And these two mooks from Torga's, they run in and they definitely pass you, Cyrus, if you would like to take an attack of opportunity.
I mean, I probably should, yeah. I can't think of a good reason really not to. With these bystanders, though, that kind of concerns me. What do you guys think? Do you think I should make the attack of opportunity, or?
I was thinking maybe try to shoo them away, because the more witnesses there are, the worse it is for us. Like, oh my gosh, they got scimitars, run!
Oh, that's a good idea.
That'll have to be something on your turn, though.
Sure, but if I attack now, then I can't really make that a convincing argument. So I think I'll just let them pass by.
Okay, so they're gonna pass by, and they pull out their scimitars, and one of them is gonna make an attack on you, Gigroth. A 9, I'm assuming, does not hit your AC.
Nope.
And the other one attacks Zymot, and that is a 21.
That hits.
Okay. That is 5 damage to you. 5 slashing damage. And Sephek, he says, you have made a big mistake. And he will Misty Step. You can see him dissipate and appear standing up next to those other two individuals.
Quick question, Nick.
Mm-hmm.
To cast Misty Step, do you need to like is it a vocal thing or?
Yep.
Well, because I remember like I hit him in the jugular, so he shouldn't be able to talk at the moment. You know, he's like.
I'm gonna say that he still can.
Okay.
His verbal component's enough to Misty Step. So he Misty Steps, and he's now standing next to the other two people that came from Torga's, and in his hand forms this large long sword made of ice. You can see glowing frost from his hands, and it forms into this long sword, and he swings down at you, Gigroth, with it two-handed. That's a natural 1. That's not going to hit you. And the next one is 14 plus 5 is a 19.
That does hit, but I do have cold resistance.
Okay. Yep. So this is going to do 1d8 plus 3. 4 slashing damage. Or excuse me, it's 1d10, but I rolled that. So 4 slashing damage and 2d4 cold damage. 5 cold damage. So you can reduce the cold damage.
Okay. Does it? Do I round up or down?
Round down.
Round down. Okay.
So it'll do. So that's a total of 6 damage.
Quick question, Nick.
Mhm.
When someone I'm not familiar with Misty Step. When someone uses Misty Step, do I not get an opportunity of attack?
Nope. He just
No?
teleports.
Okay. Cool.
Oh, okay. All right. And then that is it for his turn. It is now Zymot's turn.
Forgive me, friends. I guess the jig is up. So it's either us or them. And I will bonus action summon my Echo behind Sephek.
Mm-hmm.
And then let's see. So 2 goons in front of me, and then all 3 of us are in a little tight circle, right?
Yeah,
All 5 of us, I guess.
Yeah, so now I would say the 3 baddies are in between you and Gigroth on one side, deeper in the alley, and your Echo is on the opposite side.
Okay. Typically baddies are not as strong as the big bad. So, yep, I'm going to swing my glaive at the baddie that just tried to swing at me. Or actually that just hit me.
The small one?
Yep.
Okay.
That is a 21 to hit.
That's definitely a hit.
Okay. For a total of, good roll, 9 slashing damage. So I'm going to bring, as he hits me, I'm going to kind of duck out of the way, or not. I'm going to take the hit, and I'm going to rebound, pulling my glaive from my back and coming around in a wide arc, trying to clip him in the arm.
Okay. And this is coming from you or from your Echo Knight?
From me.
Okay. All right. And I assume your movement action is going to be standing up?
Yes.
Okay.
Correct. And then I will use Unleash Incarnation to have my Echo swing at old boy.
Same Sephek or the same one you attacked?
Can he reach the same one I attacked?
Oh yeah.
Okay, then yeah, he will attack the same one for an 18 to hit.
That is a hit.
Okay, and that is going to be a 7 points of slashing damage.
Okay, that Mook goes down.
Excellent, that's what I thought. Outstanding. Yep, I'll go in a giant arc with my glaive, kind of hacking at the guy high, and then Tomax or my Echo will go ahead and just do a straight stab through the back and take him down.
Okay.
And that is my turn.
All right, Gigroth, you are up.
All right. So what Gigroth's gonna do is he's gonna use his bonus action, go into rage mode.
Gigroth hulks up.
I got this, Nick. I got this. Gigroth! That's how he goes into rage. He just says his name. All right. Let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and start attacking Sephek.
All right.
And let's. Okay. Yep. All right. So Oof. Okay. Does a 9 hit?
A 9 will not hit.
Of course it. Why would it?
Do you get another attack at all in rage?
No, I don't. I have my Warhammer, so that's really the only thing I get to use.
Okay.
That is very anticlimactic.
That's all right. There'll be plenty more turns to attack this guy. Akuma, you are up. You are in the street currently.
And how far am I from the alley?
I would say 30 feet to get to.
30 feet, and then can can I see the action that just happened from where I'm at? Or are they in the alley, all
You
of them?
can see Cyrus and the two commoners standing beside him. But further than that, it's a little too dark. Do you have dark vision at all?
I do.
Okay, so then yes, you can see. You can see kind of like the outlines of what's happening, that this scuffle's taking place.
All right, so I'm going to like run up in between like Cyrus and the strangers,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just going to cast Firebolt on the other goon.
Okay.
A 14.
14 is a hit.
And that'll be 6 fire damage.
Okay.
And I believe I will end my turn with that.
All right. Up to the top, Cyrus.
Okay, so I assume I have the two people beside me.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I kind of just need to help out in combat here. If I were to say take one step back so that they're behind me and cast a spell, would they notice that?
I would say so.
Okay.
I mean, I guess it depends. It depends on the spell. If there's a verbal component, yeah, I would say yes.
Yeah, it is definitely verbal that I was going to cast. Should I just try and get these guys out of here, or just help out in combat? Because if I can help out, I feel like I should.
I'd get those guys out of here if you think you can, because honestly, we don't want to kill civilians. It's already bad enough that we just did what we did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fair. I'll just kind of slap my hands together in the Home Alone face and be like, "Oh my God, they've got scimitars! We need to get out of here!" And kind of see if I can convince the two bystanders to get out of there.
Okay. Make me a persuasion check. Oh my gosh!
Yes.
Oh, get out of here! Get out of here!
Oh my God. 23.
Yeah, they both look at each other, look at you, look at each other again, and then just turn around and bolt.
Even though I didn't actually bolt, they just both bolted immediately.
Oh yeah.
Okay, cool. As a bonus action, maybe I'm being a little too liberal with these. Don't forget, Gegaroth, you do have a Bardic Inspiration die you can add to attack or saving throws.
What is the die?
It's a D6. You can use it. You can use it after you roll, but before it is declared as a miss or a hit. I think as a bonus. Sorry, apologies here. I think I'm actually just gonna pass after that.
Okay.
Because I assume that was my action for that turn.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Okay, I'm done.
Second Mook, having just been firebolted, turns around and is going to take a swing at your Echo, Zymet. So he just kind of spins around in place, having seen his compatriot fall down, and he's going to take a swing. Take a swing with the scimitar, and that's an 11.
That does not hit.
Okay. And Sephek says you are making a grave mistake. The Frostmaiden's will be done. And you can see from his other hand, the same frost appears from his arm, and a dagger appears in that arm. And he's going to take a slash one-handed with his long sword. Against you, Gigroth.
Alrighty. I wish you would hit me.
And that is going to be a 13.
Nope.
Okay. And then he's going to, after he comes up with his sword, brings it back, he's going to use that momentum to stab forward with his dagger. And that is a 19.
I regret my wishes. Yes, that does.
Okay. 1d4 plus 3. So that is 4 piercing damage. And
I get.
one-
So since I'm in. Oh, I'm private. My apologies. I was thinking out loud.
okay, four piercing damage and 6 cold damage. And then you can reduce that however much with your rage because of your rage and your cold resistance.
So that is 5 and 12.
Okay. That's the baddie's turn. Zymot, you are up.
Roger that. We still have one goon left, correct?
Yep, 1 goon and Sephek.
Did he take burning damage, by the way?
No.
Okay, so all right, first things first, I will yell, "No, please, we have no money. No, please, not us. We're just innocent bystanders." And I will take my blade and flip it over my head and come down in a diagonal hacking motion towards the other goon.
Hmm?
For a 16 to hit.
That is a hit.
Excellent. And he shall take 9 points of slashing damage.
Goon number 2 goes down.
And I will fire off an Unleash Incarnation, having my Echo attack Sephek for. That's a miss. 8 to hit.
That is a miss.
Yep. That is it. That is my turn. Wait a minute. In this alley, it doesn't. Well, yeah, Sephek doesn't look like he's gonna run away. All right. Yep. That's it. That is my turn. I would like to, staying within melee range, I would like to make sure that both my Echo and I are on opposite sides, essentially flanking Sephek.
Yep. So you are still on the same side as Gigroth, and then there's Sephek in the middle of you and Cyrus and your Echo, and Akuma's on that far side too. Okay. Gigroth, you are up.
All right. Well, I'm gonna try my luck again, and can I add that D6 to this roll?
You can just like you can roll first and then add it afterwards. Like if you roll like a 20 and you know you're gonna hit, then you don't have to use the dice. But if you roll like a 12, you can be like, oh, that might hit, but I should add the D6 after. So you can roll first.
Oh, okay. I got a nat 1.
That's a definitely miss.
I would not add the D6.
Yeah, man.
Merely a recommendation.
Can I at least like shout something?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So Gigroth will say, "No, please, we're only beggars."
Okay. It's really
Hopefully
playing
people
this
will
up so
hear
if
that.
anyone out there is watching, is like trying to pin everything on this Sephek. He's the one bullying you guys. Akuma, your turn.
I'm gonna take. So what? There's like 10 feet between us right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna stay where I'm at. And do I want to do that? I'm gonna cast a first level magic missile.
Okay. So that automatically hits. Let's see that damage.
5.
Okay.
And I'm gonna kind of like look over my shoulder to see if anybody else is coming.
No, you don't see anyone else. There are people walking by the alley, but no one is really paying attention to. No one can really see what's happening in the alley.
And I'll end my turn.
Okay. Back at the top, Cyrus.
All right. I think what I'll do is I'm gonna cast Vicious Mockery on Sephek. Quick question: like when Sephek like added like his frost to everything, did it just add it to his weapons or to his hands as well? Because he
No,
did it
so
to his
he
hands
didn't
earlier.
actually have any weapons on him. These weapons kind of formed out of the ice that was coming out of his hands
Oh, so
into his hands.
so his hands are like all covered in frost and everything.
His hands aren't. It's not covered in frost, but it just kind of like the frost kind of like shot up his arm into his hand and into his fingertips, and then like molded into these ice weapons.
Interesting. So when I cast Vicious Mockery, I'm gonna yell out, "Yo, Frosty the Snowman! I hope you don't wipe with those hands." And he has to succeed on a DC 13 Wisdom saving throw,
Ooh, wisdom.
or else he'll have disadvantage on his next attack roll and take 1d4 psychic damage.
I rolled a 5, so that's an 8.
Okay, +3. So yeah, he has disadvantage on his next attack, and he takes a d4 of damage.
All right, let's get that
Let me roll that
damage.
Thank you, Senpai.
4. Hooray! It's like a crit.
This is max damage.
Look, that's the most damage I'm going to be doing as Cyrus.
Okay.
Did he have any response when I yelled that out at him?
He kind of gave a little smirk. He
thought it
appreciates.
was funny.
He says back to you. He says I'm a fan of the wit. Sadly, I still have to put you down. And he starts to glow this shimmery silver color, and he disappears and reappears behind you, Cyrus, with his misty step.
Me and my big mouth.
As he's shimmering and
Mhm.
whatnot, does that does that give me like an opportunity to attack?
Nope, he's using his misty step. He's using
Damn it.
misty step and appears behind Cyrus, and he will attack you with his longsword.
Okay, it has disadvantage.
Yep. I still got a 15.
Shit, that hits.
Okay. So this is going to be 7 slashing damage and 7 points of cold damage.
Oh my God.
And then he will attack you with his dagger. Does this also have disadvantage, or it's only the next attack?
I think it was just the first attack.
Okay. That is an 8. So that's
That
not
is a
gonna hit.
miss.
Okay.
Why didn't I play a cleric?
Zymot, your turn.
Roger that.
So he is now kind of, I would say, Sephek is now between your Echo and Cyrus and Akuma.
Okay, I will special action move my Echo towards him,
Mm-hmm.
and then I will attack with my Echo
Mm-hmm.
for 16.
That's a hit.
Thank goodness. Ooh, nice. 10 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
And then I will. So do I have 30 feet of movement. Is that enough to get me in range of him?
I would say so, yeah. So
Okay,
it's the fight is now closer to the mouth of the alley than it was deeper in when you guys tackled him.
Got you. Yep, I will rush him.
Mm-hmm.
And I will action surge, attack him myself
Okay.
for 13.
13's a hit.
Oh, thank goodness. Whew.
Ooh.
For 8 points of slashing damage.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Attacked, action surge. I will use another unleash incarnation to attack again through with my echo attack this time.
Jeez. Okay.
Boom, 23 to hit
That's a hit.
for points of slashing damage.
Okay. So yeah, you rush forward, and these 3 glaive attacks all kind of happen simultaneously. It's this flurry of blades that every single one, each of them connect with Sephek. He is still up. Gigroth, your turn.
What to? All right, you know what? Fuck it. Let's hope my rolls aren't shit. That's another nat 1.
Do you have advantage on your attacks from your rage?
I
Or
believe he has to go reckless.
ah,
Yeah, I would
gotcha.
have to go reckless to go. But that's on like the first attack, or is it? Uh, oh, so it's okay. Yeah, I mean, I guess I could do that on my next turn.
Okay. And so that's it. Just run up, bring your hammer
just-
down, and totally whiff.
Yep, it's totally with. God damn it!
Gigroth's
So useless.
feats of strength.
Wait, how much did he roll for his attack?
A nat 1.
I got a 1 twice.
2 turns in a row?
2 turns in a row.
That's rough.
Yeah.
Akuma,
I
you
feel
are up.
useless, guys.
We're just gonna target him again with magic missiles and actually roll all 3 dice this time. So first one is 2 damage. Second one is 3 damage. And the third one is 2, so for a whopping 7.
Okay. All right, Sephek's still up. Cyrus,
Okay.
you have
I'm
been
going to...
dealt a fair amount of damage from this guy.
I'm looking pretty beat up. So he's behind me then. I will turn around and I'm gonna cast. Well, think be. I'm going to cast Hideous Laughter on Sephek.
Mm-hmm.
So that is a Wisdom saving throw again for DC 13.
12.
Yay! So now, because he's such a fan of wit, he perceives everything as hilariously funny,
Okay.
and he falls prone.
He's
At least
laughing. It's a knee slapper, and he falls prone laughing.
That'll last. Its concentration. It's up to a minute, and since he's our only target, so at the end of each of his turns, when he takes damage, he makes another Wisdom saving throw to get out of it.
Okay.
So I'm wondering either we just like wail on him, kill him now, or we try and incapacitate him at the time being.
Tie him up.
Yeah, just like while he's prone. I'm gonna use a bonus action and cast Healing Word on myself.
Okay. And you said it's at the start of his turn where he makes this check, or at the end of his turn?
At the end of each of his turns.
Okay.
And I gain 6 life back.
Okay, so he can still attack while he's on the floor or while he's on the ground.
Can he attack while he's prone?
Mm-hmm. He can.
Okay, fair enough.
So a prone creature's only movement is to crawl unless it stands up. His disadvantage on attack rolls.
Oh, okay.
So he's gonna take his ice dagger and he's going to throw it at you, Cyrus. And he's gonna have disadvantage on that attack roll. First one's a 7. Next one's a 17. So 7 plus 5 is 12.
That is a miss.
Miss. Okay. And then he's going to slash at you with his long sword as well. Disadvantage on that. 6 and a 9. Nope, that's going to be a miss as well. End of his turn, he's going to try and break out of this hideous laughter. And this is a wisdom saving throw. Uh-oh, we lost Mark. Another 9, so that's not going to do it.
So sorry, guys. Today is just not my day.
It's okay. All right, so, okay. Yeah, so he doesn't break out of it. He continues laughing. He's on the floor prone. It's Zymot's turn.
I am going to say, why did you kill all those villagers? They did nothing to you. And I will hold my action until he responds.
Okay. All right. Gigroth, are you going to give him a chance to respond here? Or are you going to try and wail on him? Since talking is a free action, but if you would like to attack before he responds, you can.
I'm gonna say, you bastard! How dare you do that to his mother? Then he's still prone, correct?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so I get advantage. I might be. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and try to wail on this guy. So that's. I'm gonna go ahead and roll that d6. Ooh, okay. So that is 18. Does it 18?
18 hits.
Finally. Okay. So let's. All right. So that is 10 bludgeoning.
10 bludgeoning damage. Wow. Okay. Still up.
Sorry, Nick. Quick side note.
Mhm.
I was just reading Hideous Laughter, and it says they are prone, becoming incapacitated, and it does say incapacitated creature can't take actions or reactions.
Prone, becoming incapacitated. Oh.
Do you want me to just link you Hideous Laughter? Would that make it easier?
I can bring it up.
Okay.
Okay. I will remember that for now on. Okay.
Not trying to be that guy.
No. You're all good. You're good. Okay. Yeah. So you come down and 10 damage. This individual's still alive. Still alive, and he will answer you, Zymot, and he says, those poor individuals. What about what they're doing will prolong Oriel's winter.
So that's kind of. So he's essentially. Yeah. Okay. So he's okay. So he's admitted to killing him. Okay. Cool. Can I respond or no?
Yeah, you can. If you want to insert yourself into the order here.
Is he looking pretty hurt yet?
Oh, he's looking hurt. He's still up, but he's definitely taking a bunch of damage here.
Is there anyone left in the turn? Is anyone left?
There's Akuma. Akuma's left in the turn order.
Okay. I need some time to think on a response, so I'll let him take his action first.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna magic missile him again.
Mm-hmm.
First one is 3 damage. Second one is also 3 damage. Third one is 4 damage for a total of 10 damage.
Dang. Okay. Still up, but barely. I mean, I guess he
Does-
is down,
yeah.
prone.
Yeah.
Oh,
Does
I'm sorry.
Tor-
When he takes damage, he gets an opportunity to make a wisdom saving throw to get out of it.
13.
That gets him out of it.
Okay, he's no longer laughing and incapacitated, but he's still prone.
Yeah.
Okay. Zymat.
does Torga share your beliefs in this? And I will try to hack at him non-lethally, like chop off a leg. I'm gonna bring my glaive down on one of his thighs
Okay.
because I definitely don't want him to. All right, I missed. That's a 7.
Okay. He says, "That old hag? No. She just pays me to look after her."
Okay, so she's innocent. It's just him. All right. Cool. I mean, that's my. I mean, can I respond again?
Sure, yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. So wait, he said them what they're doing is gonna lengthen her winter. So from my understanding, it would only, regardless, the sacrifices only cause it to be less severe, but does not end the winter. Am I misunderstanding this?
He says those people cheated the lottery, and therefore um trying to circumvent the sacrifices will not please Oriel. They in order to keep Oriel pleased, they needed to die.
All right, I think that's good enough. Dude's weird. He's whack.
Aren't we all?
Okay.
Yeah, but he's like for her. That can't be good.
I mean, he did say he's trying to get it, like, skipping the lottery just makes this go on longer. So I still think we should knock him unconscious for a full interrogation.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
All right.
Show enough.
Okay. Cyrus, you are up.
All right. For the first time in this combat, I'm going to make an attack with my rapier.
Okay.
Since I assume I'm within range. That is a 12.
A 12. That is a hit.
Oh, okay. Cool. That is 5 piercing damage.
Okay. It's not down. Still badly hurt.
And after that, I will, I'm going to use my phase step to sort of like get away from him.
Mm-hmm.
Which is kind of like a misty step, but it's a little bit specific to the Eladrin. Basically, I get to teleport up to 30 feet to an unoccupied space I can see, and it gets an additional effect, which will be... Oh, it has to be within 5 feet of me? Could I, like, teleport, like, behind one of the other guys? And, would that still be within 5 feet of him, or not quite?
No, it wouldn't be within 5 feet. No.
Okay, well, I just sort of didn't want to get my ass kicked. I'm just gonna teleport on to the opposite side of where Zymat and Tomax are, and just sort of like have them sort of be my meat shield.
Okay. All right. Okay, so he's going to make 2 attacks. Well, he uses his movement to stand up, and he's going to make 2 attacks against you, Gigroth. One with the longsword. That is a 20, not a natural 20, but a 20 nonetheless.
Hits.
So that's 7 slashing damage and 6 points of cold damage. And the dagger will not hit. And he says, "You must let me claim the next target, or Oriel's winter will only get worse." And it's Zymot's turn.
Sorry. Just to clarify, you said that's 7 and 6 damage, so 7 plus 6.
Yep. The first 7
Yep.
was
Okay.
slashing damage, and then the 6 was cold damage.
Okay. Just verifying.
Yep.
I'm at 50.
Okay, Zymot.
All right. I will try to turn the glaive, or actually my echo will try to turn the glaive sideways and like smash him in the back of the head to knock him unconscious.
All right.
Yeah, it's a 24
Mm-hmm.
for 10 points of bludgeoning damage.
He gets knocked unconscious, falls face down into the snow, and that is where we will take a break. We will, so we're going to take a quick 10-minute break. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back and continue this adventure. Thanks, everyone, for watching. We will see you in just a little bit. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you all very, very much for sticking around and hanging out. Appreciate everyone being here. All right. So if you're just joining us, the group has just knocked out the one and only Sephek Cultro, who is claiming to do the Frostmaiden's work in killing off, and has admitted to killing some individuals who have been dodging the lotteries for the sacrifices to Oriel. You are all currently in an alleyway in Targos, kind of halfway between the Three Flags Sailing Tavern and the Luskin Arms Inn. And what would you all like to do? We're now out of initiative order.
Where are the axe beaks?
I would assume that they would be with you. You're kind of traveling along with them wherever you go.
What time of day is it?
It would be evening time.
Okay. So it'll be dark before too long.
I mean, there's only like 4 hours of actual daylight when the sun is at its highest point, but even during those times, there's still this very dark overcast due to Oriel's winter spell. So the rest of the day is very, very dark. So
Okay.
even at this time, I would say it's dark out.
So we could just load him up in a sack and, we detain him, with rope or whatever to, shut him up, and then load him up in a sack and just kind of haul him off to wherever we need to go. We did get a sack earlier, didn't we?
I mean, I'd like to, if we can, like, has the commotion settled down? Like, did anyone else follow us? Oh, no, you turned everyone away, right? We're like completely cool in this alley right now,
I think
Nick.
so.
Yeah. There's no bystanders around. You kind of took care of that. Cyrus's diversion kind of got everyone's attention, and the two people that did follow got turned away early in the fight.
Well, yeah, then I kind of want to go ahead and interrogate him here. You know what I mean? So if we need to do anything with Targa or whatever, you get what I'm saying? Like, we kind of already, like, we know whether we leave the city or if we do anything else. Does that make sense?
No, I'm cool with that.
For sure.
We could just drag him further back into the alley and then have one of us stand guard in case anybody tries to head back this way.
We just need to tie him up. Oh shoot! Crap! Can one of you casters do an Arcana check on Misty Step to see? Because to talk to him, we need to not gag him, right? So the only thing we can do is tie his hands. But if he can Misty Step away, we might not be able to interrogate him. Now that I think about it, I definitely don't want him to get away.
Should I break his legs?
Akuma?
Go
He
ahead.
can Misty Step, but it's more of like a Misty. He can't really step.
Could Akuma make an Arcana check on like Misty Step to like hit in Akuma's like brief studies of wizardry?
Mm-hmm.
Would I have any knowledge about the elements needed to cast Misty Step?
Yeah, make me an Arcana check.
Oh, that's a nat one. So
Okay. You know that it's something people can do. people that have magic can.
I just saw him do
this.
it. I don't really remember what he did when he did it, but I saw him do it. He got like all glittery. I think I read about that in a book once.
I'll try to make an Arcana check as well.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, do we want to risk it?
19.
Okay. Yeah, so you're familiar with magic to some extent. And Misty Step, as a spell, only takes a verbal component. So all he has to do is kind of like speak the code word or whatever, and he does it,
Gigroth, you got any dirty socks?
No, that's not
Probably.
the thing though. Like he's got to talk. Like even when we
Gary,
gag him, when we ask him the question, we have to ungag. Like, all right, how far? Do we know how far Misty Step goes at least, or is that like too much to
I
ask?
think it's 30 feet. I know my face step is very similar to Misty Step, and it's 30 feet. So
Yep,
if we
30,
could get like
30 feet.
So I can.
40
So one thing we can do is I could post. We can move him. How long is this alley, Nick?
Oh, I mean, with how dark it is, there's basically, let me bring up the map here. There's like 3 rows of buildings. So I would say probably
I'll tell you what. Actually, let me make it easier on you.
100 feet or so, 150 feet.
Okay, so is it possible for us to move him in the middle of the alley and then post my echo and post Gigroth on one side of the alley and Zymont on the other? So if he Misty steps in either direction, he shows up right in our melee range. Is that possible?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Are you guys okay with that?
Yes, I do have one question though. Misty, does it just let you tell? Well, with his 19, would we know Misty Step can let you pass through objects? Like it lets you pass through a wall.
No. No, you have to be able to see the space that you Misty
So
Step to.
potentially we could just find a closed area. That's the place he can just Misty Step in.
I think that's what Jedi
Oh, like
suggested.
build a box around him, sort of thing.
Something like that. No, because
Oh.
what Jedi wants to do is post me and in his echo at
Right.
30 feet, or but like if Misty Step is I'm stuttering a lot. If Misty Step is visual based, all we have to do is
Blindfold him?
Why don't blindfold him? There we go. Blindfold him. He can't Misty Step. He can't see where he's going.
That's a good idea.
I'd like to do both.
Yeah, still, yeah.
Okay.
Just for
Yeah.
insurance purposes.
Yep. All right, we'll do that. We'll blindfold him. We'll have Akuma blindfold him and tie his feet and his hands together. Since he's a fisherman, he's got those sailor, he's got those sweet knots. And then we'll post Gigroth on one end, drag him 50 feet, 40 feet to we'll set it up to where he's in the middle of the alley and Gigroth is on one side and Zymont is on the other 40 feet away. Wait, we said, what was Misty Step, 50 feet?
30
40,
feet.
30 feet? Okay, yeah. So we'll post me and Gigroth on either side 40 feet away. So if he tries to Misty Step, we can intercept as a cushion. And then we'll leave Cyrus and Akuma in front of him to interrogate him.
Can I dislocate his wrists? Just in case, that way he can't really use his hands to attack. You know, if
Just
he
like
tries to summon
break
a sword,
it.
it's like
Just want to like break his wrists.
not break, dislocate. Because if I break him, I think he's gonna be less inclined to like tell us anything. But if I can just dislocate it,
I think
then just
both
pop it back
breaking
in.
and dislocating is going to have the same effect. on
I don't
on his
want him.
feeling towards you guys.
All Gigaroth can do is be violent. Okay, we'll just go with the original.
So just make sure we find out as much as we can about Torga, and potentially if anyone else is in with him, and then as much as we can about the Ice Maiden or Frost Maiden, Rime of the Frost Maiden. Yeah, Icewind Dale, Rime of Frost Maiden.
Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. So he's unconscious. You do what you blindfold him. You get your post 30 feet away. You can interact with him however you'd like here now.
I guess it's Akuma and I are interrogating him. I'm gonna go ahead and just slap him just to try and get him to wake up.
And are you tying him up or anything, or is he?
Yeah, I assumed we had mentioned that we had like tied him up
Okay.
because Akuma can tie knots with
Okay.
like rope
Yeah.
and just
He's
hands
bound,
and feet.
blindfold on. He can't see anything. He kind of coughs as he comes to.
So who else is in with you on this whole like this whole quest of yours?
You guys, this is my work and my work alone.
I'm not even gonna roll. I just kind of believe that. So what's your involvement with Torga then, beyond just being her bodyguard?
She just it's a day job. She just pays me to keep her safe as her bodyguard, and that's it.
She has no one. Does she have any knowledge about what you do in your spare time?
Well, she didn't pick me out of a hat, if that's what you're asking.
Just answer the question.
She wanted the best. She got the best. She's well aware of what I do.
So why did the Frost Maiden task you with these killings?
He says, as you realized, I have a certain set of skills, and his hands, while being bound, glow a little bit. He says, you notice I'm not wearing any cold weather clothing. I have the cold does not hinder me at all. I think I'm a natural for this work. In this climate, in this place.
So this was your choice then? You weren't actually like designated by the Frostmaiden to execute the whoever it was that cheated the system?
It says I am beholden to Oriel. I owe a debt to her, and so she has tasked me with this job.
And where is she now?
I would presume in her dwelling, which is this would be Sorry.
I slap him again. Today, Junior.
Today. Let's see here. He says, "Why do you have plans to go there?"
I don't think that's
you
any of your
can't
business.
stop her.
I suggest you answer the question, and I will cast Prestidigitation, and I'm gonna make him very, very itchy.
Oh, okay. which he cannot scratch himself. He can't do it because he's all bound up, and you can see him kind of squirming. Make me a. I guess this would be an intimidation check, but but use your what's your spell modifier? Charisma.
Yes.
Okay, so it's still gonna be charisma.
Yeah, it's either way for me. So.
True chaotic evil.
How is this evil? We beat the shit out of this guy and are interrogating him. It's like, oh, you what? You're actually interrogating him? How dare you?
Have you ever had an itch that you can't itch?
Yeah, it's awful.
You're chaos. You are incarnate.
Sorry, intimidation. You said?
Yep.
Jesus, 22.
Her home is an island in the sea of moving ice. But you can't. The likes of you I doubt, will be able to get there.
Well, how'd you
Well,
get there?
Let's see here. It says this body was just a mariner whose ship sank off the coast of Oral's island. He swam to the island and was a goner until I took over.
So what are you?
A spirit. Let's see. Yeah, just a spirit. Sephek is merely a vessel.
So as a spirit, what interest do you have in killing people who are escaping the lottery? It doesn't seem to have ended the winter so far.
Says let's see here. Well, or despite Oral still keeps tabs on what's happening in 10 towns. Oral believes in fairness, and despite what you may think, these sacrifices do catch her attention. I don't believe she likes it when individuals take it upon themselves to disrupt that flow.
Have you tried to, persuade her into stopping the eternal winter?
Oh, I cannot go back to that island. My work is out here.
Hmm.
And I will continue doing that work until until law has taken what's the best way to work? Basically, continue working out here until people stop skirting the sacrifices, skirting the lottery.
So what does Oriel have to gain by imposing this eternal winter? Like, she's worried about people skipping her lottery, but it's all about fairness, but what is she gaining from doing this to these people?
That I don't know. I'm only the messenger. Her motives are unbeknownst to me. I only do her bidding I do her bidding for my own survival.
Kind of out of questions at the moment. Do we just knock him back unconscious and then go back and rediscuss with Gigaroth and Zema?
Yeah.
All
That's
right.
an option.
I'll
Any damage will knock him unconscious again.
I'll just attempt a shocking grasp on him.
Sure.
Just,
Yeah. You're able to do it.
24 and
All right, buddy. Well, let us go discuss with the rest of the group, and you kind of give him a pat on the back, and gets shocked and falls over again.
We will relay that information that we got about the Frostmaiden and everything to the other two.
what are we missing here?
Like it seems like it might actually be like legitimate, like the whole deal with like the sacrifices in the Frostmaiden, or at least he believes it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, I think this is just kind of like a signal for us to push forward in this, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, I think he's just he's not a big player, if that makes sense, right?
No,
He's just
I don't
essentially
think
a
so.
tool. So I don't think there's that much more to gain from this, personally.
Oh, from him, no.
And there's probably at our point, there's nothing we could do to like bind his spirit.
Yeah, no, I think the ship is set sail. I think we just need to end him, take him back and see where this takes us after this. Like, now we know that we definitely have to make a move towards the Frostmaiden. You know what I mean? But yeah, I just don't see anything else.
One last question. I want to know who his next target is.
Ah. Okay.
Fair enough. Yeah, I could get behind that.
So I'll walk up to him and kind of smack him around and try to shake him awake.
Okay. Yeah, he wakes back up again.
Who's the next target for skipping the lottery?
I need a name. Let's see here. An individual I've been following for some time. They have they're set to meet with Scoth, the the leader of Targos's town's militia. They were set to meet them at outside of Three Flags tonight.
What does he look like?
It's a human male, short. Well, has blue eyes and a very large nose. But other than that, in cold weather gear, you can't really get you can't really tell people apart.
Not even if
Ain't
they're
that
wearing
the
gray
truth?
snow pants?
What if they're wearing gray snow pants?
Never mind. Just let it go. Just
Okay.
let it go.
Let me get a name.
Sounds like we're gonna have to get going back to Three Flags.
Yeah, I'm good to close this chapter personally.
Yeah.
Kill
Yeah.
him, bag him up, and head back. Well, if anything, we'll deal with Torga another day if it comes to it.
The individual's name was Enryn. Enryn was who his next target was.
And one last question for you, Selleck.
Mm-hmm.
How are you finding these people who are dodging the lottery?
I've been keeping tabs on town speakers and their underlings for about a month now. And Torga makes it awfully convenient to travel from town to town. Or reason to be in different towns at different times. Says, the new moon is in 19 days. That is the next sacrifice. I have much work to be done before then.
How many targets do you have?
Currently, 3.
And who are the other 2?
An individual in Bryn Shander and another in East Haven.
Did we get the deets on those?
Yes. Random name generator again.
Just give them generic names, or just like, this one's Joe, this one's Dan.
There is Rardar, who is a fisherman in East Haven. And Finney,
You're welcome, fisherman.
Finney, who is an elderly woman, or excuse me, an elderly gentleman in Bryn Shander.
Well, thank you for being so forthcoming, Selleck.
I'm
Would you like
glad.
to do the honors?
I am glad to not be dead. Means when I escape from this, I can still continue the Frostmaiden's work.
It's X to doubt.
Zymot, would you like to do the honors? Or Gigroth?
After you get cut off.
Oh boy.
You can't miss on this one.
All right. First, Gigroth is going to search his clothing and whatnot to see if there's any valuable.
Okay. No, his clothing is just like basic leather armor, like a basic leather armor vest, but the rest is just normal. It's not even cold weather clothing. It's worth no more than like what normal clothing would be.
Right. If he's technically a spirit, will the body vanish after it's dead? Or like
Your best guess is that the spirit being tied to this body would die along with the body. I wouldn't say it would vanish or dissipate or anything like that, but like this is a corporeal being. It's just possessed by this spirit that's beholden to Oral.
so this is like so like there's like this spirit inside of this body, but like this person, actual like person, or is it just like a vessel?
I mean, Sephek at one point was an actual person. Like this is a human being here with you.
Oh, okay. I wanted to see if maybe we could like cast the spirit out of him.
I mean,
But
you can try. I'm not sure how you would go about doing that.
no, right. I was just outside thinking if maybe we could get him as an ally if we were to dispel the spirit from the body some way. But if not, if that would take too much time, I'm just going to come up from behind him, very sneak like,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna put him in a headlock like that, and just like slowly choke him
Mm-hmm.
until he like just
Suffocates and falls down. Absolutely.
Yep.
And this is a lethal attack you're making.
Yes.
Okay.
Unless anyone has anything they want to ask him before I make him go into the eternal rest.
Kill him dead.
I'm dead. All right, and I'm just gonna I'm gonna have him in this chokehold, and then like as he's slowly dying, I'm just gonna like pat him like backstroke like this on his head.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Sleep, sleep, sleep.
Okay. Yep. And he gone. Sephek is no more.
And so what are we gonna do about these 3 bodies? Just leave them here.
Well, we have
Maybe
to
there's-
take Sephek with us at the very least.
Right.
But
For the
I mean,
bounty, but I'm talking about
mm.
these other 2 guys. Oh yeah, what about these other 2 guys?
Can either of you guys burn them?
I
look
do
towards
have
our cache.
firebolt.
Could we like
Right.
Nice little
burn them
bonfire.
to make them a little easier to transport? Is that a thing?
Like
Would
burn
that
them
draw
up into
attention,
ash
though?
and then collect their ashes.
I mean,
Something?
Gigroth has a giant hammer. He could pulverize them,
Okay.
right?
Oh, juicer.
You're gonna put these guys in the supermatic blender that is Gigroth's hammer.
Yeah,
I don't
just
know. What do
put
you
him
guys
in
think?
the sack and then
Turn-
have him like whack at it with the hammer and
Turn
then
him
just
into
like,
a human
fry.
soup.
Well, I mean, I do got some hand axes. I can do a little choppy chop chop.
I'm gonna walk over to the edge of the harbor and I'm just gonna like cast a firebolt down at the ice. Does it have any effect or break through the ice?
It makes a little dent in it, but it's not all the way through.
Can I
Alright,
do
well,
like
I'm
a
just gonna
second
hit
one?
that.
It's just a cantrip, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So you can do it several times, and it works its way through several feet of ice.
Big enough for a man?
If you want to keep doing it.
Big enough for 3 men.
Make me a perception check while you're out there doing this, Akuma.
Oh, that's a 4.
You can see Torga coming up the road, kind of looking around.
Did she see me?
Not as far as you can tell.
Well, at seeing her, I'm gonna stop throwing balls, and I'm gonna just kind of use message to tell the guys hey, Torga's coming. I'm gonna start walking back to the Luskan Arm.
Okay. Or walking.
How many?
Okay, so you're just gonna stop and you're just gonna start walking down the road, not where your teammates are.
Yeah.
Okay.
How busy is the street right now? Is it like pretty dead, or there's still a few?
It's by the time your fight's over, it's fairly dead.
But there are like a couple of witnesses.
Yeah, a couple of
potentially?
people around, but not too many. Maybe like
Did we
one
ever-
or maybe like 1 or 2 plus Torga in this vicinity.
Did we ever grab sacks like big enough for bodies, or did we not grab those?
We had some canvas and stuff, I thought, and
Mhm.
the fish
Yeah.
to toss on top to throw them on top of the axe beaks and haul them out.
Yeah, we definitely got stuff. We're good. I would have picked that up at the store too if we didn't have it already. But we got our normal carrying stuff and whatnot. Plus we have the blankets to sleep in or sheets because it's so cold. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
we're good.
So why don't we just load the bodies on the axe beak and just start getting them out of here before?
Yeah,
somebody
I'm good
comes
with
along.
that. I'm good with that.
And I'll circle back around the Luskan Arms and back to you guys coming the opposite way.
Okay, so
Like a
you're
big
now
U.
behind Torga as she's kind of walking down the street, looking around.
Wasn't Orga coming from the direction of? Let me pull up the map. Oh, Luskin. So Three Flags is okay. Never mind. I had
So yeah,
mixed the two.
so you guys are like between the Three Flags and Luskin Arms,
Yeah,
about
so
halfway
she
between
was
them.
walking to the Luskin Arms already, correct? From
Ye-
Three Flags.
She was originally going to Three Flags, and then now she's turned around heading back towards the Luskin Arms.
Okay, so yeah, I would be. So we're on the side of the docks. She's walking towards the southeast towards the
Mm-hmm.
Luskin Arms. I'm going to U-turn around the Luskin Arms back into the alley towards the party, while she's like walking towards the Luskin Arms along the
Okay.
harbor.
Okay. Yeah, she just continues to search and look around.
Where do you guys want to go? Do you want to get out of town?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
most
say we
definitely.
definitely head out of town. Just disassociate ourselves from this as far as timing wise goes. Gives things time to settle down before we come back. Find our next lead, if you will.
So are you guys
We
going to
should-
head back to Bryn Shander then?
That's where one of the people from the we need to stay in Targos for the night to find this Enrin guy and talk to Enrin.
I mean, do we need to? Is it time sensitive?
I mean, we just know Enrin's going to be outside of Three Flags tonight to meet with Scoth. And that he's one of the next 3 targets before the new moon in 19 days.
But I mean, he's not going to tell us why he's the next target. Like he's not gonna, like we know he's dodging the raffle, so to speak. But I mean, what does that get us? Like, are we trying to uncover this if they're all connected?
Yeah, it would be trying to see if there's some sort of political motivation, some sort of group, what they know about Oriel that we don't know or weren't being told by Sephek.
Is that something we want to do? Because I mean, I'm just here on a business venture. I mean, I'm open to having the conversation, but is that something we want to dive into right now?
You were pretty keen on taking up the Lynn Trollbane's offer to begin with, but we could always head back to Bryn Shander, update her, and find Finney, the elderly man, and talk to him about it.
No, all right, no. You know what? No, I like this. You're right. Yeah, let's do that. So, trying to think of how we can hide the bodies for a minute. Well, wait a minute. Okay, Gigroth wants to commune with some animals, and he needs to get Sebastian. So, what we can do? How much stuff is outside the town, Nick? As far as like the market and stuff, was it just Targa's stuff, or
Just
or was
just
it like a
Torga's.
bazaar? Okay.
No, it was just Torga's stuff. Everything else is inside the city.
Mm.
She has since got her stuff to the Luskin Arms and is currently in storage for the night.
How cold is it outside?
Through the night it gets well below 0 degrees. We're talking like -20, -30.
We get the impression that it's not a thing where people meander about outside, right? They
No.
normally get to where they're going, and okay.
Yeah.
So I think
there's only few hours in the day where people are out working, and then after that, it's get inside, get indoors because it gets very, very cold.
all right. You know what? I think just making the bodies look like supplies and throwing them on the axe beak, I think will be fine. I don't think anyone's gonna sit there and be like, I wonder what's underneath this. So yeah, I'm good. I think we're good to hang out.
All right, sounds good. We'll just wrap up the bodies in the canvas and wrap it up, look like supplies. Set some fish on top, or wrap it up with it so that it looks like we just got some fish.
Okay. And then I'd like to take a short rest when we get the chance.
Sure. Okay. So you want to do that at Three Flags Sailing, or do you want to just like chill in the alley?
Well, I mean, we'll probably get everything situated in the alley, so by the time we walk out of it, it just looks like a regular supply type thing.
Okay.
And then yeah, we'll take. I'd rather take a long or a short rest at a building in a fire or whatnot.
Okay. So yeah, so you spend the next few minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes or so, like packing these bodies up, throwing them on your axe beaks, and make your way to Three Flags Sailing. And you can see a good number more people here. People coming in and out of the building. It's a lot busier than when you were here earlier in the day. And as you walk in, there's more fishermen, more individuals, more dwarves and humans, mainly swapping stories. Ma is hard at work, walking back and forth, serving everyone. And there are two individuals who are kind of roaming around the tables, kind of, hey, how's it? And you can hear and see them, hey, how's it going? Good to see you again. And kind of patting people on the back and just kind of doing the schmoozing thing. There is a man who has a dark black cloak, or dark black outfit. Let me get my description here. And he's got this like fur cloak, fur cape on that kind of like wraps around the front of him. He's got brown fur lined gloves. He's got kind of slicked back black hair with a white streak on the side of it, and a chin strap beard. And along with him is a tiefling who's in like full plate armor. And they're kind of walking around table to table. Oh, hey, how's it going tonight? Oh, which one of you caught the biggest fish today? Beers are on me for whoever caught it, and just kind of doing this whole schmoozing thing with everyone in the bar. And you hear, oh, Nerth. It was Boris over here that caught the biggest fish. And yeah, so that's the scene of what's going on in Three Flags right now.
Does the merchant happen to be there? The one that I invited earlier.
He is sitting by himself at the bar. Just kind of like nursing his mug, kind of like playing with it, not really doing much of anything.
Do we have a plan? Figure out who we're supposed to find.
Ma looks over in your direction. Oh, you're back. Come on in, sonnies. There's some open seats here still. Come on in.
Can I get a coffee, Ma?
Oh, absolutely.
Make that two, please.
Oh, coming right up.
Hey, how you doing, Ma? Let me get another one of them bowls.
Growing boy like you needs to eat, don't he? Okay.
Do you see your buddy from the shop here, Gigroth?
I do, and I'm going to. I forgot. Nick, what was the shopkeeper's name?
His name is Justin.
Justin. Hey, Justin, get over here!
Oh. And you see him kind of crack a little smile and sluggishly like back out of his chair and walks over to you. And I think
that flaunt.
I think that this is probably a good stopping point for the night. So, we will pick this back up next Monday. But don't go anywhere. We're going to be right back here in 5 minutes for some crit chat. Get your questions ready. If you have any questions for the group at all, we're going to talk a little bit about the session, kind of get to know each other a little bit more, and we will be back shortly. Thanks, everyone, for watching. All right. Thanks for sticking around, everyone. It's good to be back. So that was a session.
Yeah, a lot of information.
Yes, a ton of information. Hopefully it gives you some sort of direction to go moving forward in this campaign.
Lots of note taking.
Yeah,
Lots
that
of
was definitely.
Go ahead.
No, it was just a lot going on, and even real quick during the break, we were just talking about all the different directions we can go on right now from here. It's very much an intersection on what path we want to take.
Yeah, because you have like there's like the what you guys are currently doing, like trying to figure out what these people that are being killed or that are dodging the draft, so to speak, and if they have any connections or there's some greater plot there as to why they're dodging these lotteries. You've gotten rumors of this serpent in Bremen in the lake that's terrorizing Bremen fishers.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, taking the body back to Hlyn Trollbane, and if more jobs come up there, or if something's going on with her. You have some information about Oriel the Frostmaiden, although not a ton to like really work with or that's actionable at this point. Like there's a lot that's going on here, and I think that's one of the cool things about this campaign is because there are so many different things that you can do, and it's very sandboxy. You've got a lot of directions to take it.
Yeah, I know during the little break we just took here, I know I mentioned interest in pursuing the serpent in the lake. Just like I'm just curious to see what's going on there, that it's attacking only fishermen from Bremen. It just seems so peculiar that it hasn't affected any other, town boats or anything. And then like the whole situation with the Frostmaiden, it's interesting. It's just like we have, with the information we have, we still have like, we understand there's so much more going on. We have no idea about with that. Like we've like barely scratched the surface of the situation with the Frostmaiden.
Yeah, definitely. And I think the more that this campaign goes on, that's going to be is that overarching problem with Icewind Dale being cast into eternal winter from Ariel and just continually scratching at the surface, digging away at layers and layers until you finally get a full picture of what's happening there.
Yeah, because the thing is, the fact that she's a deity to a certain level means that there very likely could be something that's 100% irrelevant to what humanity is doing.
Yeah.
And so who knows? Like there's so much. You're right. Oh God. And this is only session 2. Oh man.
Yeah. It only more stuff can happen from here. Only
Yeah, I'm
more
excited.
and more.
I'm excited.
What? Go ahead.
Did we loot Sephek?
Get
I mean, he had
Get
nothing on him.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Yeah, all he had was the clothes, literally the clothes on his back. That's all he
fair.
had.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, we strip him down and sell his wares.
Yeah. So obviously Targa had all the stuff, all the loots and things.
Hmm.
I mean, she doesn't have a guard anymore. We could go rob her probably with little to no.
I don't get the vibe that
possible.
she's exactly innocent either, because
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Sephek said like she knew what he was doing and like that's why he was hired, because of his skills. So
Yeah, so if he knew that, oh, sorry, not he. If she knew that he was just using her as a cover for going to and murdering people, she's just as guilty. So let's, do a little bit of justice out of our own.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's a good fallback. If some of these other leads dry up, we can go revisit that for sure.
something that I just thought of that we forgot to ask Sephek was like, why was he looking back at the inn and like checking the windows?
I don't
Oh
know.
yeah, good call.
Following Enrin would be my guess. Would be to be like he was like tailing Enrin, because they mentioned that Enrin was going to meet outside of the tavern, right? So it wouldn't be a big stretch for him to be like having stayed at that inn.
Yeah.
So that would be my guess, but to be fair, we don't know for sure.
Yeah. You also have a timeline now for when the next new moon is and the next sacrifices.
You said
So
19 days?
19 days. And
Yeah,
actually, I don't know
19 days.
if you can see this in the background, but I have this, which is my makeshift calendar, my dry erase board calendar, so I can keep track of when the new moon is
Oh.
and when your reports back to Iron Will are supposed to come
Nice.
in.
Yeah, that was
Keep-
one of the things I was gonna do today as well.
It'll also keep things nice and clean and easy for when you guys get out into the wilderness and you're spending multiple days on end, kind of like not in a city. So just being able to keep track of time very easily.
And when somebody gets bit by a were-rat, and
This
Who kn-
time we're not going to get them cured. We're just going to have a were-rat, and that'll be like our new party mascot.
So what?
What are you talking about? We have Sebastian. We're good.
Sebastian and rats.
clinging onto the back of the cart as it's driving away.
Oh yeah, we need to get him before he dies out here.
I mean, that's a reason to kill Torgo right there, just to get Sebastian back.
What was your guys'
Well, I
favorite
mean, if-
favorite part of this? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, we were gonna rob her anyway, so we'll probably find Sebastian the stash of her stuff.
What was your guys' favorite part of the session today? We finally got to some combat. I liked that.
I think for me, as minute as it is, I just think it's kind of problem solving is always fun. Was just us trying to figure out how to deal with a guy that can Misty Step but still want to interrogate him. I know it sounds cheesy, but I think that's just a fun little facepalm magic.
No, I think that was cool. I think that was like because it was also I think a really cool point on Gigaroth's part to be like, why don't we just blindfold him if he can only teleport where he can see? Like,
Yeah.
that
Oh
was a
yeah, for
really-
sure.
That was a really good
Yeah.
really good idea.
Really
Like,
eloquent solution. Like, oh, duh, yeah. Sometimes
Yeah.
the solution is just that simple.
Yeah,
Yeah.
compared to, let's break his leg so if he misty steps, he can't really step anywhere.
I'm pretty sure Misty Step is more of just like it's a title. I think he could just like still cast it, but just have broken legs and like crawl away. Like he's just like turns into Jimmy from South Park, where he's just like gotta get out of here.
It would have been kind of funny though. Can you imagine if we didn't see him Misty Step in combat and then we go to interrogate him, he wakes up and we're like, "Who do you work for?" And he just Misty Steps and is gone, and we're like,
Bye.
Oh, that would have been like the biggest like troll moment by like the DM. Like it wasn't even the DM that really did it. Just like that would have been such a good moment.
Yeah, oh yeah. And then of course he'd be like, "All right, roll perception." We all roll poorly, so we don't see him running behind us. We're just
Yeah,
like,
and we're all
"Man."
just like looking like idiots, just like whipping our heads around, going, "What? Huh?"
I also really liked it when you had the initial plan of like, I don't know, drugging or distracting the a maid, and then comes to find out like it's just it's just this sweet little old lady, and like we can't do this to her, can we?
yeah,
This is
lost
Ma,
lost
this
the
is little
stomach
Ma.
for that one.
I mean,
Yeah,
for
I
the
didn't feel-
record, my initial plan was just to literally have Cyrus like flirt with her, do his honey tongue magic, keep her occupied somewhere out of sight. I definitely didn't want to like drug a random bystander. We just make this giant elaborate Ocean's 11 plan just to like interrogate the dude in the latrine.
Right. That's why I thought, like, why not invite this merch? Because from the way Nick was talking, speaking for the merchant, I was like, this guy kind of seems like if he's a little nerdy, he doesn't get out much. So let's invite him to the tavern, and as a backup plan, either get him drunk enough to where he starts acting like a fool, and I kind of like push him into doing stupid shit, or like get two guys hitting on the waitress and like she'll take either one of them.
Dude, I love how forward Gigroth is. Like, first he just looks at this dude and is like, "Dude, you need to get laid," and then we come to this
Where
nice
the-
old. We just met you, your random store owner, brother. Yo, I could tell you need to get laid. And then later on that day, we're talking to the sweet old lady that's like everyone's literally mother. And then you're like, "So if I hook you up with a dude, you want to get laid?"
And
Yeah.
she's like, I'm a widow, and he's like, girl, I know you got it going on.
Yeah, this
What did I
old
call
woman.
her? What a mature fox. I called her a mature fox. So just I basically called her a milf.
I don't
Yeah.
want to say it's not going to happen because anything it's D&D, right? Anything's possible. But I don't foresee it in Ma and Justin's future to hook up for those two NPCs to hook up in this campaign, but who knows? Crazier shit's happened in D&D.
I did also
We'll
like the
see.
part where you're talking to the shop owner and you're like, yeah, so where the whores at? Like, where do hookers go? You look like that kind of guy that knows. Like, and he's like probably got customers around, and he's just, I don't know what's all that about.
I was just like waiting for it to be like,
But he does. He
my
does know.
wife wouldn't appreciate that,
Like, I literally sell. This is a general goods store. I am about as boring of a vendor as possible, sir.
Yeah,
I don't
so
even sell fishing equipment to go do something like that.
Yeah,
You know?
the blurb in the book about this store is like 3 sentences long. There's one sentence that gives this guy like his description, and he's just gonna turn into this long con that you're gonna try and get him laid throughout this entire campaign. He's about as generic of an NPC as you can get.
Like, I can smell the virginity off of you.
Gosh. If anyone in chat has any questions for the group, either as a group or an individual, now's the time to ask. If you have any questions in the future, you can always join us in the Discord, in our Discord, and I'll bring that up here in the chat real quick. You can join us there. You can talk with the group there. You can talk with me. If there's like spoilery things you want to ask me and not have the group see it, you can also follow us on Twitter and ask us questions there, and we'll do our best to get those questions answered in Crit Chat. Let's see here. What else is there? So you kind of have directions and things going on in like 3 of the towns, but the other town names came up quite a bit. Like what? Even out of character. Not even necessarily your characters, but just you as a person. Like what ones are you looking forward to or kind of got your attention? If any.
I mean, for me, obviously, for Zymot, it's gonna be the hold on, where is it? I wrote it down. Tourmaline. That one, just because it has the mind that could potentially show it, because obviously that leads into his expeditionary mission with Acquisitions Incorporated, trying to find a business. Phandalin being a mining town, so obviously that would kind of coincide with that. And then plus, he wouldn't mind having an adamantine glaive. So right now, I think we're gonna go follow the breadcrumbs one by one, so we'll get there eventually. But as far as long term, that's probably one of the places I'm excited to check out.
Cool.
I'll be honest. It's probably like jumping into the story like headlong, but I'm pretty interested in kind of tracing down the 3 people that we got the names for that are dodging the lottery.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm pretty interested in the draft dodgers, and then at some point, like the whole Bremen thing.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
For me, I want to go to Bryn Shander. I said that right, Bryn.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah. Just so I can go get that chloroform from that gnome. That's it. That's it. And I'm like Gigroth, just straightforward. I just want that chloroform.
Oh my god, I love the image of that. It's like you go in, all right, I'm gonna buy some rope. I'm gonna buy some, where are the hookers at? Also, can I get some chloroform? This is just all 3
and a cloth,
things.
and a cloth, and a cloth,
and a cloth.
That shopping list is that would throw some red flags to anyone.
I was waiting for like him to show up at the bar with like city guards or like some shit. It's like there's the guy. I bet he's the one killing all the fucking people. He's gonna try and kill some hookers.
Like, no. I told him I take chloroform because I have sleeping terrors. I kick and scream. I need a way to go back to sleep, and sometimes I have to be tied with the rope because I go into a sleeping frenzy, so I'll start thrashing around.
Sleeping frenzy. Question for you, Nick.
Yeah.
How far behind schedule are we at this point?
Not too far. I kind of expected by about the midway point. I kind of figured maybe half a session behind schedule, or kind of, but that's okay because that just meant you guys did like more planning, more backstory building. Like I'm totally fine no matter how long or short any of this stuff happens, because I'm sure there's going to be things in the future that don't take nearly as long as what I was expecting. So whatever pace this goes at, I am totally cool with.
There were a couple of moments tonight where it felt like there was just like a lot of us just like talking or gathering information, and I was kind of like, or it was just like, yeah, where can we go? Can we like buy this? And I was just like, oh man, it's just like all like, I kind of can't help but wonder how viewers feel about just like, yeah, so I need to get some rope and I going grocery shopping basically.
I think it was fine because even while you were doing all that grocery shopping, like you learned a lot of stuff from Justin. You learned a lot from Ma and the fishermen there. Yeah, I think it's all good. I think it's all good. Cool.
And was it you, Jedi, or was it you, Nick, that said that Justin is like a reputable merchant? He's a reputable merchant. So if we can have him on our side, maybe we can get like more information, or have him like pass information off to other merchants, and start a network.
Yeah,
Get us
definitely.
from the Merchants Guild.
Definitely
Yeah,
something
too.
there. Cool. Well, I think that's going to be it for the night, guys. Thanks for playing. Chat, thank you very much for watching. Appreciate everyone sticking around with us. As a reminder, you can join in our Discord. There's all sorts of stuff going on there, whether it's just talking rules, talking with the group. You can follow us on Twitter. And if you missed any of the session or you missed the first session, you can find us on YouTube as well. Just search Bad Rolls Good Times. There's also links to all of that stuff below the screen here on Twitch. So I think that's going to be it. Join us next week, next Monday. Let's see, that would be the 21st. Join us next Monday. And at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central, or 6 p.m. Central, yeah. And we'll see you then. Thanks, everyone. Have a great night.
Good night, everyone.
Take care.